For 3 memorable years, red and black were the colors of royalty in the NBA. But that dynasty is now history. Soon, a new champion will reign. This symbol of supremacy rides on the outcome. The two teams intent on seizing the prize have different styles and personnel, but they share something essential. The New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets are passion personified. Good times and bad, Patrick Ewing has been the man in New York. For 9 years, his ability and desire have never diminished. All-star, dream teamer, but still, one precious credential is missing, and he has learned these opportunities are rare. Hakeem Olajuwon's play this year has exhausted all superlatives. Still, the league's MVP knows his individual success was a direct result of team unity, a unity they must depend on to defeat a Ewing-led team, something Hakeem was unable to do once before. 10 years ago, Ewing and Olajuwon met in the NCAA championship game. Hakeem outscored Patrick 15-10 that night. But when the final score was tallied, Ewing and Georgetown had fulfilled their dream. A decade later, the circumstances are different, but each is again on the verge of a championship. The question, whose team will have the skill and not incidentally the heart to ascend to the vacant NBA throne? It begins tonight with this trophy and all it represents at stake.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom. Welcome. I am A. Johnny the Exposer, and y'all have now been exposed by the Exposer. I appreciate it. And enjoy. I am called A. Johnny the Exposer. You guys are being exposed today.
Your opinion, I guess.
Move on from it. It was the 90s. That's it, bro. Move on from that. You don't know history. You don't know basketball. You just told me I'm stupid. But look how stupid you look because you don't know
I know all this
basketball. You don't know history. You don't know jamming. You don't know schematics. You don't know coaching. You don't know scouting. You don't know drafting. You don't know nothing from that Michael Jordan's great because the media said you that, so told you to say that. I know how this recorded, and you are officially being exposed by the Exposer, and you're going to sit there like a man and take this just like Buddy did 2 weeks ago.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Hey, get your numbers out. I had to get my numbers out.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to another Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Coming live and direct straight off the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Y'all already know what to do. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to become a member of the channel. As you guys know, we do big things like a 12-hour live on Christmas where we got a chance to watch real basketball and beautiful basketball. Although there's a bunch of zesty Jeffries telling us that today's NBA is horrible. Is it really horrible? That's what today's show's about, ladies and gentlemen. Are we really watching bad basketball? Is the true era in the golden age of basketball gone? And what we love to see, which is we know Zesty Jeffries never really watched the games. They never really saw basketball in the 80s. We know they didn't watch it in the 90s. So they only had the 2000s to really replicate any kind of idea of what they consider the golden age of basketball. And they don't watch today's NBA unless it's LeBron James. Because as you can see during the Christmas Day games, everybody was watching. Everybody watched LeBron James and Stephon Curry on that primetime game at 8 o'clock because that's what Zesty Jeffries do. They watch LeBron James play. He's been carrying the NBA for over 20 years if we're going to allow the Zesty Jeffries to tell us the NBA sucks. But we know the NBA doesn't suck, and I'm going to prove it again here tonight like I do on every Friday Night Exposure. So y'all go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, become a member of the channel because we're doing big things. Also, don't forget to follow us on other platforms. Like we're going live on Instagram right now. Like we're going live on our Facebook group right now. So shout out to everybody who supports us in those platforms. Also, we're also on TikTok. We're also on Discord. We're also on Twitter. We are the GOAT James Kingdom platform, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I am here to have fun with you guys like I normally do. I will put the link up for anybody who wants to join the panel. Shout out to everybody in the comments already. I see you fellas here. Thank you for for joining me again. As y'all know, this is about to be another beautiful, beautiful Friday night. Here we go here. GJK is running the page, Little J. No, we're not running nobody's page but GOAT James Kingdom page. You should already know what Friday night means. It means a Johnny comes to expose. That's what it is. GOAT James Kingdom, we go live every Friday and every Sunday. We're not like these other channels that randomly select when they want to go live to avoid people that want to talk to them. We go live at a specific time on purpose to give people an opportunity to show up. So the link will be up for you, Keon, if you want to have a conversation with me, because we will be talking about the NBA today. Shout out to you, Ishmael. Thank you for joining me. Another GOAT James Kingdom member. Shout out to you, man. He said, did I find the Christmas games enjoyable? Absolutely. Of course you did. You was at the games. Shout out to you, man. Glad to see you made it back home safe, man. I only saw one game, and that was that's all that mattered to me, Lakers versus Warriors. I knew that was the only game that mattered to you. So shout out to everybody again. We're here to have a great, this is going to be an epic show. Shout out to Twin Man. What up, Twin Man? Thank you for joining me. Peace and blessings. Juan Boys in the building. Peace and blessings. GOAT James Kingdom members are here. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. Y'all know what we do here on GOAT James Kingdom platform. We talk the game of basketball like none other. If you want to be a GOAT James Kingdom member, go ahead and check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership. It is available to you if you go to our GOAT James Kingdom page on your computer desktop. You'll see the actual join tab, and you'll be able to join the GOAT James Kingdom membership and become a member of the channel. And you'll be able to have special perks and special exclusive content. So let's go ahead and support what Brandon and I are doing, because again, we're trying our best to give you guys real content, not this fake stuff like Mr. Young Elder here trying to tell us the NBA has fallen when he probably was never watching basketball. Never watching basketball. Again, these Zesty Jeffries talk all the time, but we all know they can't back it up. There's games on right now as we speak, and in fact, let's see which one of you Zesty Jeffries are watching these games, because we know the Knicks are going up against Orlando right now. We got the San Antonio Spurs playing the Nets. We got Indiana versus the Celtics, right? And then we got the Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies going at it. We got Minnesota is at the Houston Rockets, which is a good game. Those games are actually underway. And then now at 9 o'clock, we got two big games that's popping up at 9 o'clock. We got Dallas at Phoenix, and then we got the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Denver Nuggets in the Mile High City. So we got big games tonight, and then to end tonight's basketball slate, you got the Warriors versus the Clippers. So there's beautiful basketball all the time. It's not our fault you Zesty Jeffries only want to talk about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. We had a 12-hour live on Wednesday for Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. Merry Kwanzaa to y'all. Habari Gani. Y'all know it's Kuji Chagalia, the second day of Kwanzaa, which means self-determination. So we gonna definitely do what we do best here in GOAT James Kingdom. We don't gonna run from no smoke. But we're going to talk about how y'all love to talk about how bad basketball was, because when we had the live and we were watching all 5 games on Christmas Day right here on GOAT James Kingdom, we saw great basketball, right? And throughout the live, the conversation predicated throughout the whole live on Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. We kind of tailored off and talked about Jason Tatum and marketing players in today's league, and if Jason Tatum is marketable, and how the international players are really the best players in the league. We talked about John Stockton a little bit. We had some discussions about other stuff, but mainly we talked about LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe, because that's all you guys ever want to talk about. That's why you guys want to talk about the golden age of basketball, because that's the age of basketball you supposedly watch. But let me see how much you watch that, because I'm going to show y'all how much y'all were never really watching the game of basketball, like I've always done here on a Friday night. Just do nothing but exposing Zesty Jeffries left and right. So y'all go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, don't be afraid to become a member of the channel. We doing big things. Twin Man, stop playing, man. Stop playing, Twin Man. Jason Tatum is vanilla, but he can still be, you know what I'm saying? He can still get some love and support. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I see y'all in the comments acting up. Shout out to Sports Talk Only. He out here cooking people in the comments. We see y'all, man. We see y'all in the comments, man. We got great games going on tonight, and the NBA is great, man. He say GJK, where basketball talk happens. That's facts. That is facts. Shout out to you, Keon, for bringing that up. You know that. We talk basketball here. Not only do we talk basketball, we actually show y'all what basketball is all about. So what are y'all going to tell me when I bring up the information that I'm bringing up to y'all today? Because we about to have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. We about to have some fun. Y'all saw the intro of the 1994 NBA Finals. Y'all saw the intro of the 1994 NBA Finals. Because from what I understand, the 90s is what everyone claims the best brand of basketball that existed. Was the 90s. It was the best brand of skill, willpower, toughness, physicality, defense. Everything existed in the 90s. The 90s was the era, supposedly. The golden age. Viewership was never higher than it was in the 90s, supposedly. That's what we hear from Zesty Jeffries all the time. But that's why I went back to the 1994 NBA Finals, where there is no Michael Jordan to actually degrade for y'all to feel like I'm out here talking bad about Michael. Where we're talking about the 1994 Finals, no Michael Jordan in the NBA, and the two teams that are in the NBA Finals are two teams that have the type of basketball that y'all claim we want to hear. They go down to the big men. They got Patrick Ewing and Akeem Olajuwon. They play big men basketball. They play tough-nosed defense. This is what y'all claim is the golden age of basketball. This is the brand of basketball that we all should go back to. Because y'all can't take it. Now, mind you, we're talking about going back 30 years. We're talking about 30 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. The NBA Finals, the New York Knicks. Oh, and it was epic. You see how they were promoting the finals. You saw how they were making it seem like it was an epic situation. Of course it was an epic situation. It's the NBA Finals. It's a big-time matchup. A big-time matchup. They were letting us know what was Patrick Ewing and them going to do, because during the regular season, Patrick Ewing was not playing well. Patrick Ewing was not playing well versus the Houston Rockets. As you can see, he was clearly dominated. Y'all don't never mention how many times Patrick Ewing choked. Y'all love to talk about how tough the centers was in the 90s, but this is what he was doing against Akeem Olajuwon. Now, we all know Akeem Olajuwon is considered the greatest defender of all time. Here in GOAT James Kingdom, we don't argue that. But still, is this what y'all talking about when y'all want to talk about great basketball? Is this great basketball? But we're going to see what we do when we talk about basketball. We're going to talk about more basketball. Because we brought that up. We brought up, I showed you the highlights. I'm not the highlights. I show you the intro. How NBC always does it. They get you hyped. They get you ready to watch the New York Knicks guards. This is what the New York Knicks guards were doing in the playoffs. Remember, three-point shooting is a big thing in today's NBA. But this is what the Knicks players were doing, because, again, they had to create space for Patrick Ewing. So what were their guards doing in the playoffs? As you can see, Derek Harper couldn't shoot a lick. Derek Harper was horrible from the three-point land. Obviously, John Starks was balling. So we ain't got no arguments here about John Starks. You shoot as good as John Starks was shooting in the playoffs in '94. You gonna tell John Starks, go ahead, keep shooting the basketball, right? But this is what they were broadcast. Mind y'all, this is who the Knicks have besides Patrick Ewing. This is who they have besides Patrick Ewing. Then they want to bring up what John Starks did in the Eastern Conference Finals. 18 points per game the last 4 games, ladies and gentlemen. This is supposed to be somebody that balled. 18 points per game, ladies and gentlemen. I hear 16 points per game is nothing. So what can 18 points per game mean? This is the guy that was Michael Jordan's direct competition. But they kept going with the Knicks. They kept showing you all the bums that the Knicks had. These guys were all bums, ladies and gentlemen. These guys would not be on an NBA roster today. I guarantee it. Charles Smith. Any Knicks fan would know about Charles Smith. This is another starter on New York. Another starter on New York that's supposed to help the Knicks. Because they got Akeem Olajuwon over there in Houston, and they also got Vernon Maxwell. This is another one of Michael Jordan's competition right here. Vernon Maxwell, averaging 14 points per game in NBA Finals, 9 technical fouls. This man got 9 technical fouls in the playoffs. This is what y'all was saying was great basketball. I know these are just pictures, y'all. I know y'all gonna say that, but let's go to see why they didn't show nobody else in Houston, because Houston was a bum ass team in the first place. Right? Then you have all of these 3-point shooters to help Akeem Olajuwon. They were the number 1 3-point shooting team in 1994. And this is what they were doing in the playoffs. Jacking up 18 3-pointers per game, which was a lot of 3-pointers. This was before they gave the WNBA 3-point line. So as you can see, they were hitting 3-pointers at a very good rate at that as well. If you're making 7 out of 18, that's really, really good. Right? So we can see that that's what they were mentioning. That's what they were talking about. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to show you the NBA Finals. Oh, it is funny that you say that. Tim Nick, the fact that you call Patrick Ewing Joel Embiid is hilarious. Because Patrick Ewing stayed on the floor like Joel Embiid was on the floor. Stayed on the floor. Stayed on the floor. But let's go watch. You know what? Like I tell y'all, man, this is the GOAT James Kingdom platform. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the ring notification as well to let us know that you gonna actually worry about when we actually drop videos and drop shorts and we go live. But y'all already know we go live every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, directly, sharply. I'm here for all of y'all to have fun and talk basketball. Not only talk basketball, but to show y'all basketball. Because obviously, y'all don't listen, y'all don't read, y'all can't count. The only thing y'all, quote-unquote, have that work correctly is your vision. So we're going to give you visuals here in GOAT James Kingdom. That's what we do best here. So we're going to show you some of these 1994 and this great basketball that y'all talked about. The 1994 NBA Finals. This is the cream of the crop. Let's go ahead and watch the first clip. Let's go ahead and first of all, let's just start off and watch. We're gonna watch game 1, and we're gonna watch the first plays after the tip-off.
And the Rockets control. Robert Horry picked up on a switch by John Starks.
This is that great basketball, y'all. Look, here we go. Here we go.
Rebounded by Charles.
Boom, let's go. What do the Knicks do?
Charles
Okay. All right. Oh, look. What a pass by Harper. Brick. Here we go. Oh, let's see what he does. Oh, I thought they run plays. Oh. What is that?
just underway. Opening minutes.
Oh, look. Can't even get a pass to the inside. Oh. Listen, I thought that they ran plays all the time. What was Vernon Maxwell doing? Running up the court, just jacking up some mid-range shot, not taking it to the lane, right? This was the brand of basketball y'all wanted to see. This is what y'all claim we need to be seeing. Guys sitting around here dribbling to get the ball into the post, right? That's what we watching. But again, this is the NBA Finals. This is the first NBA Finals for all these guys. There's a lot of jitterbugs, right? So we can give them some excuses. Even the commentator's going to state that very shortly as we watch some more clips. Because I got clips for y'all. So y'all make sure to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Y'all know what to do best. I'm A. Johnny the Exposer. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Thank you for joining me again like you do every Friday night. Y'all make sure to check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership. But also check out these plays. This is great basketball right here.
They were able to complete the playoff run by knocking off Utah in the conference final in 5. The Knicks with a couple of grueling series, ending it on Sunday against Indiana in 7. Maxwell on the acceleration.
Did he just smoke a brick right point blank at the rim?
The double team.
Wait a minute, not miss the footwork with the travel. That was the travel by Hakeem Olajuwon.
It looks like players just want to get their hands on the basketball and make sure they hold it. And if they get any kind of look, throw it up to the basket to get rid of these butterflies.
Smith rejected and fouled. Charles Smith.
So that's great basketball right there. Did you just see Derek Harper pass up a wide open mid-range shot to go give the ball to Charles Smith to get his shit blocked by Hakeem Olajuwon? No wonder why Olajuwon was getting 4 or 5 blocks a game. You just got to stand there and wait for the defense to come to you. None of these guys are sitting here trying to shoot the ball from the perimeter. They're all trying to get as close as possible to the basket. So, of course, can you imagine if Rudy Gobert had that kind of luxury to sit around just stand in the paint and wait for somebody to come to you? And y'all just witnessed Vernon Maxwell. He said, all right, this time I'm not going to shoot the mid-range. He smoked the layup brick point blank, like point blank range right there at the rim. Again, y'all going to say, oh, because of defense. They also play defense in today's NBA. There's not free layups in the NBA like that, bro. It's very hard to get a free layup in today's NBA or any NBA era ever. Layups are not easy. Why do you think Jordan did all that crazy stuff while he was in the air? Because getting an easy layup is not easy in the NBA at all, in no era ever. Because they play defense. There's something called defense. There's always been something called defense. But y'all gonna call this defense. Nah, this ain't really defense. This is bad offense. Of course they're playing defense because they're there. They're NBA players. But y'all are witnessing this. This is what I keep telling y'all about the NBA. There ain't nothing glorious about this. There's nothing spectacular about this. Nothing at all. There's nothing spectacular about this. There's nothing great. Everything is going to be try to get the ball to the low block. That's all they're going to do. We're going to watch more of this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch some more. Again, we're watching the 94 NBA Finals. This is supposed to be the greatest basketball era ever. This is the NBA Finals, 1994. Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon. Y'all say they should go to the post more. We need to see more post play, more mid-range shooting, more bricks. You saw Patrick Ewing brick a mid-ranger right there. Oh, he bricked a lot throughout that whole series. I got more for y'all.
Well, if you make a mistake in there, it's going to be very difficult to recover. And as I said, the Knicks would like to front a lot, no matter who was guarding.
That's a three-pointer for Derek Harper. Derek Harper picking up his play late in the series against Indiana. Has given the Knicks a 10-4 lead off the steal. A foul is called.
Oh, so now Derek Harper doing that is okay. Is that good basketball? Because Derek Harper just came up and pulled up for a three-pointer while he was shooting 26% throughout the whole playoffs. The Knicks had played over 20-something playoff games prior to the NBA Finals. They had 2 Game 7s in the NBA Finals. I mean, the NBA playoffs that year. So now, is that good basketball? Was that him doing again, do y'all ever watch basketball? This man literally took a pull-up three-pointer just to do it. I know why he did. You ain't got to tell me. I'm a basketball fan. I understand the game. I understand what I'm watching. I always told y'all, you can't see what your mind can't comprehend. But did you just see that man just pull up from 30 because he was open? Nobody was guarding him. Because they're worried about getting the ball to Patrick Ewing. So they're trying to hesitate. They're trying to clog up the passing lanes, make it harder. And throughout the series, they were talking about how the Knicks were going to front Akeem Olajuwon. And what they were needing to do to make sure that, because they're going to front Akeem Olajuwon, is that they're going to actually put more ball pressure on the Houston Rockets guards to make sure they can't make the pass. 'Cause like I always tell you, you gotta put ball pressure on a guard, especially a lead guard, a good ball facilitator. You can't just leave him open and just let him see the whole court. He'll destroy you, and you're not going to get nothing off because they'll get the ball to the right guy every time because they can see the floor. So we obviously see Derek Harper shoots that three because he needs to create space for Patrick Ewing. They want to be able to go to Patrick Ewing. So they're going to have to guard Derek Harper when he has the ball. So that when they create that little strong side action, he has enough space to make that pass to Patrick Ewing. That's what you see in that era. And you know what you also see in that era? You know, it's another thing. Y'all are some big time liars. Because 100% of every game I watched in the 1900s, every game that I've went back and gone watch, and I've watched over 20 games, just for research purposes, every individual game I've watched has had illegal defense called.
But the pressure by Stark forced them out of it beyond the arc into the lane, and one of the rare offensive rebounds for Houston.
Well, there's been no respect for the outside shooting of Charles Oakley. That's his third jump shot, and each were open shots. And it may be just a matter of time before the Rockets put a hand in his face, but Oakley has had the touch right throughout the season. Knicks now lead by 2. And Jack Madden with the call of illegal defense. The first time, missed the warning against the Knicks. It may be just a matter of time before...
Let's look at it here, y'all. Look at Robert Horry automatically saying, look, illegal defense. Look, he's like, look, ref, look, he's pointing it out. He's not even, there is no action for Robert Horry on this play. He's legitimately screaming to the referee, my man's not guarding you. That's what he's doing. He's literally screaming that. That's what Robert Horry is screaming right here, right now. He's basically saying, look, referee, this man is not guarding me. He needs to be guarding me. He has to be out here by rule, not because I can actually shoot the ball like in today's NBA, where if you leave somebody out there like that, they're going to hit a three-pointer in your face, even if you go run out there to contest it. He's literally, and look, mind y'all, there is no low block action here. So he's asking the referee to call an illegal defense before they can even try to get Akeem Olajuwon in the low block to post up. And they're literally going to clear out the floor so that Akeem Olajuwon is just all one-on-one. This is what they call great defense. Is this what y'all say is the great NBA defense that we need to go back to? What is this? This is hard. You can't. This is not playing good. You're not even allowed to strategize as a defense. You're literally limited as a defense. There's nothing you can do. You have to let Akeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing play one-on-one basketball because of the rules. And again, he's pointing for a reason. And you know what? Let's watch this again. And just to start it off again, you hear what they're saying about leaving Charles Oakley wide open. They're basically saying they're going to let Charles Oakley take a bunch of 18-footers because a majority of the guys in that era could not shoot the basketball. They were not good shooters. Let's go ahead and watch it again.
But the pressure by Stark forced them out of it beyond the arc into the lane, and one of the rare offensive rebounds for Houston.
Well, there's been no respect for the outside shooting of Charles Oakley. That's his third jump shot, and each were open shots. And it may be just a matter of time before the Rockets put a hand in his face, but Oakley has had the touch right throughout the season. Knicks now lead by 2. And Jack Madden with the
y'all see that?
illegal defense.
Look at that. Illegal defense. Look at that.
Against the Knicks. It may be just a matter of time.
That's horrible. Look at that. That's horrible. That's what y'all claiming is great basketball defense? That's not defense, ladies and gentlemen. That's the rules. That's the rules.
And Jack Madden with the call of illegal defense the first time. This is the warning against the Knicks.
Shout out to Retro KG. Thank you for the super chat. Say, may you review the Lakers and Kings 2002 playoffs peak basketball. Again, y'all love to talk about what's peak basketball. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I would love to do that, though. Because we all know that actually was a great series. And that was actually, if I'm correct, that's the one that had the controversial Game 6 when the Lakers were down 3-2 and all those crazy calls. I can definitely do something like that. But here we're talking about the illegal defense. We're talking about the illegal defense that I keep telling y'all happens all the time during the 1900s. Because you had to guard your man whether they had the ball or not. And that's why that era of basketball was horrible. It had to change. It had to change. It had to change. That's not the brand of basketball I want to go back to, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the brand of basketball that's the greatest basketball we've ever seen. But they love to claim that the 90s era. Now they're going to jump to say the 2000s. We all know the 2000s was also bad basketball. It's starting to look like that with the way the NBA is playing today. That's the point. It's not bad basketball in general. It's bad basketball in comparison to what we are watching today. We've never seen basketball as great as we've seen it. We've never seen the thrills that we're seeing on a night-to-night basis like we're seeing in today's NBA. These guys would never touch the floor. Derek Harper would never touch the floor in today's NBA. Never touch the floor. The Knicks traded for this man so that they can make the NBA Finals in 1994. Y'all don't understand that y'all have just been lied to for so many years that y'all believe anything. Any lie that sounds good, a Zesty Jeffrey gonna run with it. Like Forrest Gump if Jenny is in trouble. But those are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. And there's more lies that I can prove to y'all. There's more lies that I got for y'all. So I already showed y'all the illegal defense, as y'all can see him calling illegal defense, all because Charles Oakley is below the free throw line. And mind you, Charles Oakley's not only not allowed to be below the free throw line in this situation, he's also not allowed to cross that actual paint line. He cannot be on the other side of that paint line, that baseline, on the strong side. He must stay on the weak side above the free throw line. That creates nothing but space, which is what today's NBA does with three-point shooting. They create space by three-point shooters, meaning that instead of Robert Horry being out here and the rule says you must stick Robert Horry, in today's NBA, Robert Horry can shoot that three-pointer, and because of that, you must be way closer to him. Because if you're not close enough, he's going to hit an open three-pointer, and you're going to lose. Then y'all claim about toughness, and y'all say all this other stuff. Again, I have proof to y'all about how they call illegal defense all the time. I have nothing but footage on this. But they also used to call hand checking throughout the 90s.
Play as Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
Foul on Cassell.
Rockets foul number 10, Sam Cassell. His first.
Sam Cassell. Ball for his first team foul on the Rockets.
You can see both hands on the dribbler, not now just grabbing the arm. And this Sam sitting on the bench has to recognize and see what happened early in the ballgame. Well, one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment, but he is a rookie.
Olajuwon with the rejection. Ewing lost it off his foot. Kelly. Last touch by Herrera.
Well, I was making the point earlier that Patrick Ewing was looking to pass the ball quite a bit. Right now, he doesn't look sure at what he wants to do. Here, he took the shot with Olajuwon draped all over him.
They go to Zesty Jeffrey, said hand checking. I surely missed that. If you want me to show it to you again, I'll show it to you again. Now, this is the clips that I was just showing y'all before were all from game 1 of this NBA Finals. We all know this went game 7. Now, mind y'all, this was the NBA Finals. This was the first Finals without a Michael Jordan in it, without a Magic Johnson in it, without a Larry Bird in it in over a decade. All right? So those were the catalysts of the NBA. The NBA was holding on after Michael Jordan retired and quit the game of basketball in '93. So this is the rec next year afterwards. So you got the New York Knicks, a prime team, and you also got Akeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets, an up-and-coming team, and all this stuff going on in the NBA. Right? So you get a Game 7, which should be good for the NBA. You get a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Epic Game 7s. Everything always is epic. When you say Game 7, that's epic. Those two words is epic in sports, and it's definitely epic in the NBA, right? So you get a Game 7. The footage I'm just showing y'all is from a Game 7. Let's go back and show you the hand checking that they called. They called hand checking, my friend.
Play as Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
Right there, hand checking. He put his hands out. That's hand checking. They're going to show you the highlights. It's hand checking. Watch. This is what they said.
For his first team foul on the Rockets.
Look, for doing that right there, for hand checking. Both hands. Hand checking.
On the bench has to recognize
See?
and see what happened early in the ballgame. Well, one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment, but he is a rookie.
Olajuwon with the rejection. Ewing lost it off his foot. Kelly. Last touch by Herrera.
Well, I was making the point earlier that Patrick Ewing was looking to pass the ball quite a bit. Right now, he doesn't look sure at what he wants to do. Here, he took the shot with Olajuwon draped all over him.
So they called hand checking on Sam Cassell. Not only did they call hand checking on Sam Cassell, as you heard him say earlier, they were calling it throughout the game. In the Game 7. Because hand checking has always been a rule in the NBA. You cannot use your hands to play defense. Never allowed it. The only thing the NBA did was allow the referees to decide whether or not hand checking applied or not during a game or not. That's the only difference that they ever did. And they started doing that after the NBA merger in 1976. But then they started getting more strict on the rule in the mid-90s. And they actually made it a rule the next year where you could no longer hand check on the perimeter. Hand checking has always been a rule in the NBA. And they were calling it then. But y'all don't know the league. Y'all don't know nothing about the league. Y'all don't even remember what was going on right now. I'm talking about this is the 1994 NBA Finals. Y'all don't know nothing about this. Y'all always want to talk about 2011, 2007, 2018, right? Y'all love bringing up the 2020 NBA Finals, the 2016 Finals because of Kyrie, the 2013 Finals because of Ray Allen. Y'all know all these NBA Finals. Y'all bring up 91, 93. Y'all bring up 98. But y'all don't know no other NBA Finals. Y'all don't know none of them. Y'all don't know nothing at all about basketball. But this was the NBA game finals, This was the finals. This was the finals, y'all. This is the NBA Finals. This is the best the NBA had to offer in the mid-90s. That y'all claim we should go back to and watch because it's the best brand of basketball. Like I say, y'all don't know basketball. Y'all never learned it. Because y'all learned it off of a Scott Stewart highlight on ESPN or an actual NBC Bob Costas intro. That's how y'all learned basketball. Y'all didn't learn basketball the way we were all supposed to be able to learn it, with real people teaching us what the game is truly about and how the game is played for a team to win, because it's a team sport. Because y'all love to tell me all this great stuff about Patrick Ewing, but none of y'all bring up Patrick Ewing shooting 35% in the NBA Finals. This is what they were talking about. This is the guy that's supposed to be stepping up and was Michael Jordan's competition and blah, 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 tough in the 90s. But this is what he was doing in the NBA Finals. Playing completely horrible and just blocking shots, because at the end of the day, as y'all can see, nobody in Houston can finish at the rim well. They're not good finishers. They're not good at getting to the rim. They're not good at finishing at the rim. So, I mean, I don't know why you guys sit here and like to bring up nonsense. Now, Akeem Olajuwon gets the praise that he should get because obviously Akeem Olajuwon was balling. But the Knicks played horrible defense versus Akeem Olajuwon. They were fronting Akeem Olajuwon, and the Rockets were able to get the ball to Akeem Olajuwon, and he was able to get easy finishes at the rim. So he was dominating them. Not to mention, when he didn't have that opportunity to be fronted, it was just one-on-one, either versus him versus Patrick, him versus Oakley, or him versus Mason, or him versus Charles Smith. They didn't have enough, obviously, because we know Akeem Olajuwon was great, especially for the 90s. A great basketball player. But this is what they were telling us before Game 7. This was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And this is what y'all were talking about. When y'all want to talk about what's great basketball or not. This man's averaging 27 points and 9 rebounds per game, shooting 52% from the field. This was epic back then, y'all. This is epic. And y'all got the nerve to talk about players in today's NBA. Y'all don't know the history of the game. This is why you show up on a Friday night exposure with the exposer, because I'm out here doing my thing. And I'm going to keep exposing y'all because y'all don't know how to talk the game of basketball. In fact, the NBA was doing so bad back then, they had to bring David Stern on at halftime to explain some things.
Halftime in Houston, Game 7. Rockets lead the Knicks by 2, 45-43. Joined live now by NBA Commissioner David Stern. David, taking nothing away from the excitement throughout this series and the feeling in this building and the great determination and the achievements of these two teams, the ratings for the finals are down. And many people feel that if this style of play becomes dominant in the NBA, the league will lose some of the elements that led to its popularity. Do you share that concern?
No, I think there's an ebb and flow, Bob. A decade ago, people were saying that we had to change the rules because there was too much scoring, no one played defense, we should have the zone come in. Now there's just a lot of defense being played. We will be looking into maybe tightening up some of the calls, but Charles Oakley doesn't have to apologize for not being Michael Jordan. He's out there hustling, and he's an all-star, and that's a lovely kind of play in its own way, watching players hustle the way these two teams are.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Was that David Stern on national television explaining why the NBA ratings were down because of the style of play? Oh my God. I thought everybody was watching that basketball. I thought that was great basketball. This is Akeem Olajuwon. Y'all be screaming Akeem Olajuwon top 10, should be top 5. Arguing all this stuff about how he makes the 90s so great. And they had trouble with the NBA and viewership in the mid-90s with Akeem Olajuwon in the NBA Finals. Listen, They had the NBA Finals paused for us to watch O.J. Simpson running from the police in the middle of the NBA Finals. Y'all don't even remember that, do y'all? That's how bad the NBA was doing back then. The NBA has always had viewership issues. They went to NBC to actually gain the proper viewership. Because prior to that, NBA was having tape delay games, man. The NBA Finals throughout the 80s were tape delayed. In the early 80s, the playoffs was never live. You didn't watch no playoff game live. There was no nationally live televised games for the playoffs throughout the 80s. The first nationally televised playoff game was in the 1989 playoffs. CBS did it. They went to NBC. And now it's the mid-90s. Y'all claim it's the height of the NBA. And again, listen to them. He asked them about ratings, low ratings, and the style of play. The style of play that I've been showing y'all this whole time. That y'all claim is the greatest basketball era ever, the golden age, the greatest brand of basketball. This nonsense that y'all keep saying. This is the NBA commissioner having to defend it.
Halftime in Houston, Game 7. Rockets lead the Knicks by 2, 45-43. Joined live now by NBA Commissioner David Stern. David, taking nothing away from the excitement throughout this series and the feeling in this building and the great determination and the achievements of these two teams, the ratings for the finals are down. And many people feel that if this style of play becomes dominant in the NBA, the league will lose some of the elements that led to its popularity. Do you share that concern?
No, I think there's an ebb and flow, Bob. A decade ago, people were saying that we had to change the rules because there was too much scoring, no one played defense, we should have the zone come in. Now there's just a lot of defense being played. We will be looking into maybe tightening up some of the calls, but Charles Oakley doesn't have to apologize for not being Michael Jordan. He's out there hustling, and he's an all-star, and that's a lovely kind of play in its own way, watching players hustle the way these two teams are.
That's interesting. Shout out to you, Iron Man. You right. I'm exposing these JDRs. Because my boy Tyson here is upset. Again, this is what they do. They get personal. They get very personal because their feelings got hurt. Again, I am destroying your childhood. I keep telling y'all, I am your worst nightmare. I ain't Lamont. I ain't none of these other LeBron sexuals that y'all love to disrespect all the time. Because y'all don't know how to talk the game of basketball, and they're sitting there flustered by you idiots who talk the game ridiculously. Because y'all liars. Because they don't take their time to do the research. Just like you don't take the time to do your research. So this is how you feel, Tyson? Say what you want about A. Johnny. The nigga do his homework. If the nigga did this in school, he might be a doctor. Nigga, I am a doctor. Nigga, I'm healing you from your zesty Jeffrey ways, motherfucker. That's what I'm doing. I am the doctor. Call me Dr. Exposer today, nigga, because you're actually being healed. And when I put the link up, you can actually come here and express to everybody how you're now feeling better about life. I've given you a new life so that you can watch the NBA with pride and feel good and realize that all that bullshit that y'all been saying about the 90s is continually getting exposed by the Friday Night Exposure. It's very simple for me to do this. It's not hard work. If y'all knew how easily it was for me to do this today, y'all would laugh. But like I told y'all, I got the basketball gods in my favor. We do the Lord's work every Sunday, and every Friday night I do the devil's work, and I go ahead and expose Zesty Jeffries left and right. Oh, but I got more for you. You're right, I did do my research. And you know what? I did do my research. And not only did I do my research, they had to ask David Stern about changing league rules.
Recently, I've heard both Pat Riley and Chuck Daly say that unless there are rules changes, and they didn't say this critically, they just said it as an expert's observation, unless there are rules changes, this will be closer to the style of play throughout the league the next few years than in the last decade that was, of course, dominated by Jordan, Johnson, and Bird.
I think you can expect us to look at not rules changes, but possibly tightening up the calls a bit in the looking at it over the summer. Perhaps a little bit more movement, letting players get a little freer than this very tough defense that's being played allows them to. But we're, our ratings are only down domestically. There are 117 countries that are getting this finals. These are the most people that have ever watched an NBA finals in our history.
Shots fired by David Stern. That's one thing I do miss, is David Stern never played around with the media. Like he said, we are actually showing the finals in over 100 countries right now. There's no other league that's like this. The NFL, the baseball, no other league has a global audience like the NBA. Thanks to David Stern. So now he's asking about rule changes now, not because of low ratings and things of that nature. He's talking about style of play. He's talking about how the brand of basketball within itself is horrible. And the way these guys are sitting around here just trying to find low post plays, and there's no real action of any kind. And then on top of that, David Stern mentioned how the league was in ruts in the mid-'80s because people were saying they played no defense, which I know none of y'all ever heard anybody say that before. But obviously it was actually true because, like I told you, I didn't watch 80s NBA. I was a child. I was an infant then. But we all know the 80s had the highest scoring game in NBA history. So when he mentions how people were saying they weren't playing no defense and that they should change rules back then because it was just high scoring, and we all know that there was a lot of high scoring in the 80s. The 80s is one of the highest scoring eras in NBA history. And it's actually one of the most efficient era in NBA history as far as shooting percentage goes. So David Stern is in the middle of the NBA Finals, y'all. Again, y'all, this is the 1994 NBA Finals. This is a Game 7 halftime show. And David Stern is answering questions about style of play and how it's bad basketball and bad brand of basketball, like it was nothing like what they had with Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson, and how the ratings are down and all this stuff. This is the mid-'90s, ladies and gentlemen. But y'all don't remember this because most of y'all were not even born at this time. And if y'all were just born, because some of y'all, like I said, y'all are basically Power Ranger babies, man. SpongeBob babies. I always call y'all that. Y'all grew up watching SpongeBob and Power Rangers and shit like that. Y'all don't remember this part of basketball. Y'all don't know this part of the NBA. You don't know it. It was so bad that they were saying, hey, maybe you should actually shorten the three-point line. Give these guys a better shot at shooting threes because they can't shoot it the way you got it. So here's the David Stern being suggested to here is Bob Costas suggesting to the league commissioner David Stern that they should possibly think about the three-point line being shortened in the mid-'90s, y'all.
Moving in the three-point line, maybe not as close as college rules, but is that possible?
Yes, when we play at the McDonald's Open, we have a diplomatically negotiated three-point line in Europe. It's usually at about 22 feet, someplace between the international line and our 23.9 at its highest at the key. But I think that's something that the steering committee has been looking at very closely, as well as after the Olympics, the whole issue of the trapezoid, the Olympic lane. Those are two issues that come and go. But as the scores get lower, my guess is the competition committee is going to want to look at it a little more carefully.
Ooh! And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what they did because the next year they actually shortened the line. And they gave them the WNBA three-point line. And so y'all can shoot where the girls shoot. Shout out to you, Joe. Thank you for joining me. No, Tyson was not agreeing with me. He was agreeing with facts. And he was upset that the facts came from me. That's the problem. I don't need these guys to agree with me. I don't show up on a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon to have people agreeing with me. No. I keep telling y'all this. My job here and will always be to provide information and to expose the lies and the myths and the stupidness that I hear all the time when I'm just trying to talk the game of basketball. Because Zesty Jeffries don't even allow us to appreciate today's NBA based off of the lies and the myths that they were told and they believe still to this day about the 90s, when I'm here showing you that the 90s was not what they always tell you it was. It wasn't that. Oh, I got more basketball footage. We just wanted to get David Stern's words because we all respect David Stern here. Again, they're liars. My job is to expose the lies. I don't care about nobody agreeing with me. I don't come here to get nobody to agree with me. I got friends and family that agree with me. I'm celebrating Kwanzaa. This is one of the best times of the year for me. Don't need Tyson to agree with me. But Tyson's more than welcome to come up and express himself and get this out of himself because, again, like I said, I'm healing folks. I do got a doctorate degree in basketball, motherfucker. And I ain't even played the game. But all y'all do is talk and say lies. That's all y'all do is lie. Even the fact of the league being soft. I seen it in the comments. The league is soft. It's soft. They play zone. It's soft, man. Come on, hey, Johnny. You're just a LeBron sexual. But why the hell is David Stern talking like this if y'all telling me the league is soft?
Lastly, these finals for the most part have been played clean and hard. But as you know, there has been a problem over the last couple of months with a perception, and it's not unique to basketball. It's throughout the sports world that there's a tone of trash talking and confrontation and fighting. What, if anything, can be done to cut that back?
That's easy. Our fans have come to depend on us to be the leader here. And next year, you'll see that the reduction in violence, which was significant, the reduction this year, is going to be even greater, and we won't disappoint our fans. Our players are great athletes, hustling athletes, and they're not going to be fighting or doing the kinds of things that are going to turn off fans, and particularly kids.
David, thanks a lot. Sit back and enjoy the second half of Game 7.
It's very tense.
It is that. The Rockets leading the Knicks by 2.
See? The league was not going to do anything, or the players were not going to do anything for when you were a child at that time. For the kids at that era, were going to be turned away. He said they talked about trash talking. They were going to get rid of trash talking, being physical, all of that. As you guys can see, Silver is dealing with the same problem Stern and other NBA commissioners have dealt with for a very long time. The league has always had issue with player behavior, have always had issues with viewership, have always had issues with game style, game play. That's why the game must always evolve and get better. And it hasn't gotten any better than what we're watching in today's NBA. Today's NBA there's no greater basketball. And in fact, not only is today NBA the greatest NBA we can watch, it's the actually NBA, it's the most available NBA to watch. We can watch more of today's NBA than we could watch it in any other time in NBA history. So when y'all sitting here keep bringing up all these people who's talking and bringing up all these lies, you got to understand, bring up my shit. Share this information. I'm going to put a video out of this. I'm going to put out some reels of this so that y'all can go ahead and expose these lies, because these people are just liars. They never watched the game of basketball. In fact, even if we wanted to give some Zesty Jeffrey love here tonight and how they talked about how tough the game is, we'll give them one tidbit, right? This is something that y'all can have, right? This is why they think the era was so tough. This is Charles Oakley, who had an NBA record 107 started games. So that, again, like I told y'all, the Knicks had played over 20 games in the NBA playoffs before reaching the NBA finals. So including going 7 games in the NBA finals. So he had started all 82 games and started all 25 playoff games. That was an NBA record at the time. Shout out to Charles Oakley. So that Zesty Jeffries, you can hang your hat on. Oakley was a tough dude. But there's players out here that's just as tough as Oakley. Oakley's not the only tough guy, but he does represent toughness when we're talking about the 90s. But let's get back to basketball. And let's get back to us seeing this great, thrilling basketball that was intense and great for us to watch. Now we're going to a Game 7. NBA Finals, 1994. Remember, y'all, Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon, low post game, tough nose defense, hard rebounding, all of the stuff that these Zesty Jeffries love to bring up that they claim that doesn't exist in today's NBA. We're gonna watch it right here, right now. So we're in a Game 7. We're in the fourth quarter. It's a game for everything. All the marbles are on the table right here, right now. All the chips are here. The NBA Final Championship is available for you if you can pull off this Game 7. Let's see how great basketball was going on at that time.
Harper. Picked off by Cassell.
And it all started with the good pressure of Cassell, and he also read the play and forced Harper into an uncomfortable position and a bad turnover.
Starks playing with 4 fouls.
Here we go. Just looking for the big man. A foul. Where? Where was the foul at? That was a touch foul. Where was the foul at there? That was horrible. let's go back again and look at this again. Y'all going to look at how they keep the ball in the perimeter just to set up Akeem Olajuwon in the post. This is supposedly great basketball. This is what we need to go back to. But if I told you we need to go to Rudy Gobert in the post, and we need to drop the ball off to Sabonis in the post, and we need to drop the ball off to Jared Allen in the post more, y'all going to die laughing and tell me I don't know basketball. But we got to do that with Akeem because, again, Akeem is one of the greatest centers of all time. We all have him top 5. He's one of the greatest centers without a doubt. So let's watch this great offense. So let's watch how they get him the ball. Because like I always told y'all, when you're a center in the 90s, you need somebody to get you the ball. Not like today's centers who can dribble the ball up the floor themselves and legitimately get into their own position. But let's watch this play again. Watch how they play. Turnover by Harper. Crowd is hype.
Good pressure up Cassell, and he also
Here we go. What are you going to do? Look, stop. Here we go. To the outside, pass here. Let's get to the post.
Olajuwon over Mason and foul. So Akeem will go to the line.
That was a horrible foul. I mean, that was a horrible call right there. But that's what they did. As you can see, that's the way they played the game back then, ladies and gentlemen. I am not bullshitting you, man. I got more footage. Again, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I do this every Friday night. Tonight's another epic episode where I'm actually giving y'all game film, game footage, showing y'all that the 90s was not great basketball, at least not compared to what we're seeing today. It was great in 1994. I was 13 years old then. I was watching this. This was great basketball for me. My household was going crazy because my uncle was a Knicks fan, so he had his kids with him, his wife, my aunt. We were all in the living room watching this game. This was NBA Finals, NBC television. There's nothing else to watch on TV at this time, so we were watching this. So let's watch some more of this because y'all didn't see this. I saw this as a child, and again I got a chance to see it as an adult. So let's watch all this great basketball movement and action going on just to get a little 17-foot jumper.
Has had another strong game here. He has 11 points, and the Rockets have matched their biggest lead of the night.
11 points is considered a strong game. 11 points.
Gone by on the floor. Cassell all over Harper. Ewing played by Olajuwon. Off the fake, Patrick Ewing has turned it around in the second half. He now has 16 points in all. Rockets 69. And the Knicks 64. They double up on Cassell. Herrera now picked up by Ewing.
They're trying to get the ball to the paint. Look at that. Horrible. Look at that. Horrible.
Lost it. It'll be Nick ball.
Garbage.
Patrick Ewing starting to feel it right now. Sees that no double team is coming. Little hesitation dribble. The long step and the pump fake to get away and clear himself from the tough defense of Olajuwon.
Hot garbage, bruh. That's all the Knicks had was Patrick Ewing shooting fadeaway jump shots, contested jump shots. And all the Rockets had was going to the paint and trying to get the ball to Akeem Olajuwon. Like, that's all these dudes had. That was the basketball of that era. That was basketball majority of the time until guards came in. Until guards could actually score. And they didn't have to be restricted to just passing the ball to a big man and waiting for him to pass it back because that was what the game required. Because supposedly they were more high efficient shooters. They were going to get you the best shot. They were going to give you everything that you needed to score. That was the whole point. Like, that was bad basketball to let a guard go off and do his own thing. That's why they were talking about Sam Cassell going off for 11 points. They never seen a guard do that before. Off the bench, on top of that, y'all sitting here talking about Jason Terry averaging 18 in NBA Finals. They were going off on Sam Cassell averaging like 12 points in the NBA Finals, like saying this was incredible coming off the bench. They were like, they never seen nothing like that. Again, that's how basketball was back then. That was not great basketball, ladies and gentlemen, compared to what we're watching today. And I got more footage again. Here we go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all what I've always told y'all. Basketball is better when everybody moves the ball and everybody can score. Let's watch Sam Cassell at work, and then let's watch the Knicks guards at work.
In the fourth, and had a shot to win it all in the final seconds. Rockets by 6. 8:35 remaining in the fourth. Cassell, yes. Sam
Sam Cassell. Fuck the play. I can score. I can take him. I can put it. I can attack him. I can put pressure on him. Look, not Greg Anthony. Greg Anthony cannot do it. Greg Anthony sucks. He should have never been in the NBA. Starks sucks. Would have never been in the NBA.
Sam Cassell has been brilliant in this fourth quarter.
Look at Sam Cassell.
And he got him started
look at this.
Early in the fourth was scoring. And he just took the ball down to the baseline and shot over the smaller Greg Anthony.
Anthony and Starks. Now the
here we go again.
Here Starks again.
Greg
continues to fire away. 1 for 10 for John Starks.
That's what we was watching. Now, mind y'all, John Starks was shooting 38% going into the NBA Finals, and he was bricking like crazy. He built a whole house and more during this NBA Finals in the Game 7. But y'all see the difference with Sam Cassell, right? Because Sam Cassell was a rookie. He was coming into the NBA. You started to see more guards who knew how to dribble and could go left and could put pressure on the defense to where now your guard's not waiting for some dude to just dribble to a spot so he can pass the ball. No, this dude might actually score on you right now. If you don't play up on him and get up on him, that's what's about to happen. And again, I'm going to show it to you again because, again, I'm a basketball aficionado. And thanks to Tyson, I'm officially a PhD in basketball talk.
In the fourth and had a shot to
So watch this, y'all. Look, here we go. Look. Pay attention, y'all. Look at him. Look, he put pressure. Look, pressure. You know, look. Protect the baseline. Oh, you don't want to protect it? Oh, I got you. Bang. That was putting pressure on him. That wasn't the play call. That was Sam Cassell knowing what to do at the time because he was like, oh, I'm going to attack the paint. If you're not going to protect the paint, okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to back it up. And then I'm going to attack it again because you're still not protecting it. And now you get there. Guess what? I'm going to step back and hit this little mid-range in your mouth. You didn't have too many guards being able to do that. That's why Sam Cassell got very popular at that time. I remember people were saying how great Sam Cassell was. But he wasn't that great. It was just different. They didn't see that because Greg Anthony couldn't do that. John Starks couldn't do that. Derek Harper couldn't do that. Kenny Smith couldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? That's what y'all don't get. This was the brand of basketball that was great for the 90s, but it's not great basketball. I don't want to go back to that. Ladies and gentlemen, 1994 was 30 years ago. There's nothing about 30 years ago that I want to go back to other than how much it cost to go shopping in the grocery store and how much bills cost then. But I don't want the salaries of back then. I don't want to get paid like they were paying people back in the 90s. I don't want nothing from the 90s, bro. There's nothing from. I don't want a VCR. I don't want a television I don't want a tube television. There's nothing that I don't want to go back to analog. I don't want to go back to AV plug in for my PlayStation. I don't want to go back to none of that. There's nothing about the 90s and the 1900s that is worth going back to, brothers. It's over. It's a wrap. That's it. But you zesty Jeffries are the casuals that never watched the game. And that's why today you got exposed. And that's why if you are watching today's program, you are not believing nothing you saw. Because again, your mind can't comprehend anything you see. Fuck what I said today. I showed y'all footage. I gave y'all David Stern telling y'all that the league was fine, although they were saying it was horrible back then. And we all know the decline of the NBA kept going in 94, and 95, 96, 97. Jordan kind of came back and gave him a little bit, but then it went down again. Because the scoring went down, everything went down. Basketball was not at its peak at that time. But that's the time you started watching basketball. That's the time you fell in love with basketball. That's the time you became a true basketball fan because of Michael Jordan. Then Kobe Bryant comes along. Now you feel like you actually feel like you got the best part of the NBA. But there's people that came before you that got a chance to watch Dr. J, Bird, Magic. They got a chance to watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They got a chance to watch Jerry West. They got a chance to watch Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. Those guys can tell you missed out on an era. You missed out on basketball greatness. But you don't know those guys because they're not on the internet talking crazy. But you zesty Jeffries do. You show up here and tell us lies all the time. But you can't do that on a Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. So what I'll do is I'll put the link up for anybody who wants to join me and y'all want to have a conversation with me and we can discuss what you just watched. And you can tell me how you still think the 1990s basketball or the 2000s basketball is better than today's NBA. After all that we watched the other day, all those great basketball games that happened the other night, even the last game was still a good game. But all those games that came on, you're going to tell me you still going to sit here and lie and say that today's NBA is not better than what we just watched right here? Again, I'm going to put the link up. And again, Zesty Jeffries will stay safe in the comments. And they won't hit that link. They won't say, yo, let me step up to the mic. Like I told y'all, we're going live on Facebook right now. We're going live on IG. And we're also live right now on the GOAT James Kingdom platform. And we're also live on FYF Sports Debate. Shout out to Lamont for giving us this platform and this opportunity to show people this. Again, I got the link up for anybody who wants to join me. But again, I showed y'all real basketball footage, real clips, real situations. Y'all don't know the game of basketball. Y'all don't know. Y'all never watched it. Y'all never cared to. All y'all do is talk about LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant. And in fact, over half of y'all only talk about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant because that's all you have against LeBron. Because you need help. That's why all those anti-LeBron channels, the first thing they do when somebody says anything about LeBron not being the GOAT and Kobe and Mike being better than LeBron, they post about it, they talk about it, because they need other people's validations for them to have their own saying and their own free will. This is why I am here to save you. Thank you, Tyson, for giving me my PhD. Because now I can heal you from that. You can be a man of your own and have your own volition. Because that's what self-determination is all about. Coochie Chagalia is about being self-determined. About identifying with what you want to be and being on your own and standing on your own and standing on your own principles and values. But if you ain't got that on Coochie Chagalia, you're going to get exposed on a Friday night. You feel me? This is what we do best. So let me bring up my boy Frank. Thank you for joining me on a Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I don't know if you want me to bring you up. Are you comfortable if I bring you up? Because you do have your camera on. Okay, let me go. Let me bring you up. Thank you for joining me again. As you can see, we're having a great time. Thank you for joining me on a Friday Night Exposure. We were watching the 1994 finals and a few clips of it just to show y'all the type of style of basketball. This wasn't to critique if it was bad or not. It was just to show you the brand of basketball, how they were playing the game, how it was perceived at that time. So with the information I provide you, what do you think and what do you got for today's show, sir?
Well, I want to comment on one take. You said that the brand of basketball in the 90s is worse, which I think is true. But the early 2000s, so I didn't start watching basketball until 2005. I got Ron poster at the third grade fair in 05. So, like, I really didn't start really to understand the game until, like, about 15 years old about. So, but I would say that, going back into my past a little bit, the game from 2007 to like 2016 was really good basketball to me. It was the best brand of basketball that I watched. And when 2016 came around, right, everybody tried to be like Steph Curry. And they're just not Curry. They're just not. And it's a bunch of shot tucking threes today. Players today might be more skilled. They definitely are. But the league is going downhill because of silver. Silver is causing them to freaking go downhill, bro. And that's my take on it. I've watched games every single day since the third grade. And the brand of basketball is going down. Every team is just shot chucking three after three after three. It's boring basketball. Bring back the fucking big man, bro. I don't want to hurt him. But yeah, man. So that's my take right now, bro. I don't hate on nothing you're saying except for 2000s, I believe, is better than right now. That's my hot take. 2000s basketball from 05 to 2016 is better basketball. That's my take.
That era's next to fall as time keeps going, because again, sir, we're a few days away from 2025.
Crazy, bro.
And that era, exactly, that era is soon to be a non-existent. The other day, I was watching a video about Napster and how Napster changed the music industry. You ever heard of Napster?
I'm not really big into like rap.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So, were you born before 95 or after 95?
97. I'm too young. I'm a baby.
It's not. No, I'm not gonna make fun because you're too young. No, it's fine. Again, it helps me understand your perspective. Like you said, you started watching in 05. So now I get why the 2007 to 2016 was your era, because again, that's when you was a child and you started understanding the game or growing and watching the game. So exactly. I completely get it. Don't get me wrong. It's no different than someone who was born. I was born 81. So I started watching basketball in 1991, right? So from 91 and on, that would be my era. But again, I'm old enough to understand, like, yeah, that was great for then, but what I'm watching now is still the greatest basketball I've ever seen. The three-point shooting is necessary because you have to be able to give yourself a chance to get to the paint. Again, these guys play defense today in today's NBA, so you're not going to be able to get to the paint and get no easy layups if nobody can shoot 3-pointers. You got Charles Oakley on your team and Charles Smith on your team and Otis Thorpe on your team and Vernon Maxwell. I'm looking up the numbers right now for Vernon Maxwell. Vernon Maxwell took 5 3-pointers per game in 1994, shooting 29% from the 3-point line. The man averaged 13 points per game, bro. That's horrible basketball.
Terrible.
In fact, the guys on this Houston Rockets team, out of all the guys on the Houston Rockets team that played, let me see here. Let me just bring up the minutes.
Okay.
Out of guys who played at least 15 minutes or more, right?
Yeah.
They had, let me see here. Let me see how many guys they had shoot above 35%. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. And Akeem Olajuwon is one of them because Akeem Olajuwon shot.
Top threes?
That's
No.
That's because Akeem Olajuwon shot 19 3-pointers and he's made 8 of them.
That's pretty good, actually. Damn.
That's even good. So let's go to the top 3-point shooters. So the top 5 3-point shooters on their team, only one of those guys shot above 35%, and two of them shot. Kenny Smith. I'm talking about for the Houston Rockets. Because they were the number 1 3-point shooting team in the NBA at that time. They took the most threes. They were one of the best 3-point shooting teams at that time. They took a lot of threes compared to everybody else. So they had Kenny Smith, who shot 40% from 3-point land. He was the second most 3-point shooter on their team. Maxwell took the most threes on their team. He shot under 30%. Mario Elie shot 33%. Matt Bullard shot 32%. Robert Horry shot 32%. Sam Cassell shot 29%. So their best 3-point shooters were horrible.
Okay. So
they were horrible at shooting the basketball. So of course you don't want them shooting the ball.
No. So my question then to you, then, Johnny, is why do you think the game today is better than the early 2000s? How is it better? It's not as fun to watch.
It is fun. What?
How is it more fun to watch?
Wait, did you watch Christmas Day games? Did you watch the games?
Not just
one. Do you only watch the Laker game?
That's the only one I watched. Come on, man. I had a flip. I was out family function drinking. And
guess what I was doing? I was right here on Go James Kingdom doing a 12-hour live just for that purpose. Just for people like you who were with your family. You could have put on your YouTube and you could have clicked on Go James Kingdom and you could have sat with us and we were talking about the game. I was showing y'all the game. That's what I'm saying. But it's fine. That's all right, Frank. It's all right. I'm not here to judge nobody here today. This is not Judgment Day. It's fine. But again, you got to understand the game of basketball is leading to 3-point shooting because you don't have Charles Oakleys on the floor. Everybody can shoot. Everybody can play. So if I'm going to be on the floor, I got to make sure that the defense plays defense. So I got to shoot the ball. As an example, if we look at today's NBA, right, the top shooting 3-point team in today's NBA is the Cleveland Cavaliers. No, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay, Cavaliers. They're absolutely killing it. What are they right now? They're like 25-5?
Yes. They shoot 39 3-pointers per game, and they make 40% of them.
Jeez, bro, that's Garland, that's Mitchell, that's Mobley, that's all the boys.
That's incredible. Now Boston takes the most 3-pointers in the game.
Boston takes the most. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But the team who shoots the best is actually the Cleveland Cavaliers. The next best team is the Knicks. Then it's the Bucks. It's the Suns. It's the Heats. It's the Mavericks.
John, my question to you then is come playoff time, do you think it's going to be Boston versus Cleveland come the East Finals? Because I think it's going to be Boston Knicks, bro. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Cleveland is going to fall off. That's my hot take. That's my
that's what people said about Boston last year, right? Everybody was saying, "Oh, we just wait to the playoffs," and Boston and Boston's gonna again. We don't know what's gonna happen because that's why today's NBA is better than ever. All these teams have really a shot. Exactly. That's because there's so many good players. There's so many things that can happen. Today's NBA is it. We've never had greater basketball than what we're watching. If you're truly a basketball fan, there's no way you're watching today's NBA and thinking, "Oh, this is bad basketball. This is bad." What I was showing you was you don't want to go to Rudy Gobert. You don't want to dump the ball down to Vujicic. Not Vujicic. What's his name? Valanciunas. You don't want to dump the ball down to Nurkic. You don't want to dump the. That's what they were doing in the '90s, trying to find the next big man, drafting Oliver Candy, drafting Big Country Reeves, drafting all these bums just because they were 7 foot and supposedly they can get you the best shot, and ignoring skill and talent. Now we go after skill and talent. How talented are you? How skilled are you? How much skill and talent can we provide you, and how can you upgrade? What is your ceiling? Like they would say on TikTok. What is your ceiling rise or ceiling raiser? I don't know what the hell. Yeah, your generation bring up new terms up all the time. I have to learn it all the time.
You're freaking gay faggots, but anyway, yeah. But anyway, now I just lost. I'm so lost now because that got me thrown off. But anyways, Johnny, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Nah, I appreciate you. No problem, man. Like I said, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out our membership. I appreciate you, man. That was Frank, y'all, joining us, man. Thank you for joining me. Look at, again, this is another thing about the eye test, right? Because, again, your eyes can only see what your mind can comprehend. So now that I'm giving you guys a little something for your mind to comprehend, what you're seeing is going to be better for you when you're watching the games. This is why magicians earn money. Because they learn how to trick your eyes. Because if your mind can't comprehend what they're doing, they can easily slide a magic trick right in your face and you wouldn't even know what they're doing. So when you have guys like Second Place on television, Charles Fartley, and all these idiots like Creepers Pro and Scab Attack, and all these guys who have all these content, and these are where you're getting your content from, and you're getting your basketball information from, your eyes and your comprehension of the game is skewed. You don't even want to hit the link right now, as bad as I've been exposing y'all. You don't even want to touch me right now. You don't even want to have a chance to defend yourself, because what are you going to defend if you sat here and watched the film I provided? There's nothing to say but other like, man, I just don't like today's basketball because you're casual and you're a zesty Jeffrey. And that's just fine. You can be that. Be proud. Today is Kuji Chagalia. Today is the day, if you ever going to be what you want to be, it's on Kuji Chagalia. Kuji Chagalia is the second principle of Kwanzaa, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day where we get the opportunity to actually identify ourselves with who we are as African people. This doesn't pertain to just us as black folk who like to celebrate Kwanzaa. This could be something for you to enjoy today. This is something, again, this is another lesson that I can give you as a doctor and a professor and all the knowledge that I have. Self-determination is the day. It's what's called Kuji Chagalia. That's how you say self-determination in Swahili. So all you got to do is just be a man about who you are. You're not a child no more. This is not the 90s. This is not the 2000s. You're not a kid. Be a man and accept who you are and say, hey, you know what? I just don't like today's basketball because I'm a casual. And I started watching the basketball because of Michael Jordan and things of that nature. Just keep it real with yourself, man. Shout out to you, Frank, man. Appreciate you, bro. Just keep it real with yourself. It's fine. It's okay. Zesty Jeffries are the only people I know that can't comprehend what they see. No, they're going to keep lying. They're going to keep lying. They're just going to keep lying because it's better to believe a lie than to know the truth. They can't help it. They can't help it. You don't go spend $300-400 on a pair of Jordans because you got common sense and logic. You don't think like that. But they don't know the game of basketball. So what they do is they're going to continue to lie and tell us that we don't know the game and we're just LeBron sexuals and we have a quote-unquote agenda and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I got an agenda. My agenda is to expose you like I do every Friday night because you Zesty Jeffries were casuals that never watched the game, and I never sat here and listened to any one of you Zesty Jeffries, even when I was growing up in the 90s and when I'm living today in the 2020s. Because I'm living in today's world. I know it's 2024 going to 2025. And I know that basketball is the greatest thing that I've ever seen. And to me, it's better than football. I've been stopped watching football. Ever since 2016, I stopped watching football. Football has not been a mainstay in my life at all. I don't care for football. Now, football is one that football fans should be upset about because they completely changed football. Football is horrible. The gameplay in football is horrible. The style of play for football is horrible. But not in the NBA. Not in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen. Not at all. Not at all. So we got some games ended in the slate, and we got some games actually going right now. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I put the link up for anybody who wants to join me and have a conversation. I broke down why today's NBA is not horrible to watch because these guys keep saying it's horrible to watch. I pulled up film and footage from the 1994 NBA Finals at the height of the NBA, supposedly, in the midst of everything. The type of brand of basketball that Frank was talking about, throwing it down to the low post, Akeem Olajuwon versus Patrick Ewing. And we saw the type of brand of basketball that it was. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that phenomenal. It just is what it was for the 90s. It was great for the 90s, trust me. Yes, my household was going crazy because it was great basketball. Because that's all you had. You didn't have nothing else. But if you're going to tell me if I can watch 1994 NBA Finals or the 2024 NBA Finals, I'm watching the 2024 NBA Finals without a doubt. And just like I'm watching today's NBA, Boston beat the Indiana Pacers 142-105. The San Antonio Spurs edge out against the Brooklyn Nets 96-87. The New York Knicks trample the Orlando Magic's 108-85. Then we still got some games going in the fourth quarter right now. 1 minute left to go. The Houston Rockets are up 110-108 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, which looks like a great game. I can't wait to sit in my house and watch that game tomorrow. Now, that was another thing that you couldn't do back in the days. If you didn't get a chance, like I told you, if you were not watching the NBA Finals at that time while it was going on NBC, you didn't get a chance to see it at all unless you were recording it on a VCR or you went on ESPN later on that night and watched the highlights. But as of today, all the NBA games that are on right now that are not on ESPN, I can go on my League Pass tomorrow and watch every game if I want to. I can watch the condensed version of the game. I can watch the game from the viewers broadcast or from the home broadcast. I have the option to do all of that. So that's why today's NBA is greater. And there was 100 plus people, 100 plus countries watching the NBA in 1994. How many do you think are watching today's NBA? Over 200 countries are watching the NBA. And not just watching the finals, but watching regular season NBA games. But you guys don't know the game of basketball. All you know is Zesty Jeffrey lies and logic, which is why you don't like Friday night, which is why Lamont has hell when they find out that Lamont went live. Like Lamont went live on Christmas. They thought it was a GOAT James Kingdom live. Because I'm shattering dreams. I'm killing their nightmares because they don't watch the game of basketball. When have you ever seen any one of those guys from Meltdown Sports, Michael Jordan Fan Page are the worst, Creepers Pro, break down basketball footage? Now, shout out to the Hungry Man. He breaks down basketball footage, but it's only LeBron James. Shout out to Scab Attack. He kind of breaks down basketball footage, but only to lie and tell you it's a bunch of bullcrap that's not truthful. But they don't break down the game. They don't show you footage. I told you this was great basketball for the 90s, but it's not greater than today's NBA. Yeah, Meltdown Sports. If y'all know anything about Meltdown Sports, we had Mr. Mel on our show once, and he got embarrassed horribly. He was not prepared to show up on GOAT James Kingdom at all. At all. And we got footage of it. You can go on check it out on our playlist. We have footage of it. So again, all we do is provide facts and proof here in GOAT James Kingdom because we're basketball fans. Even Brandon, as somebody who only watches the game of basketball because of LeBron James and the players that he likes, is still a basketball fan. I'm a basketball fan because I watch my Heat. I'm going to watch my Heat tomorrow. I watched them yesterday. And then we're going to come back on a Sunday afternoon. We're going to have another great show. So then we got the Mavs, who are actually in a game versus the Phoenix Suns right now. They're up 55-39 with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's halftime where Cleveland is up 80-65. Cleveland scored 80 points tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at halftime. Shout out to you, Frank, man. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you so much, man. Rex, yes, you're not a fan, but see, for today being Kuji Chagalia, you admit that. At least you say that you stopped watching the game. Because when you started watching basketball, it was a completely different brand of basketball. You grew up in an era, and I remember you saying this, where fouling was a thing. You thought of, when you played, like you said, or when you were watching it, if somebody didn't foul, they weren't playing hard enough on defense, right? So you came in an era where basketball was played differently, and I can't wait to have that show next week, ladies and gentlemen. Politicus Rex will be on Friday Night Exposure next Friday for the 75th episode, and we're going to talk about the history of the NBA from someone who watched the game of basketball during the 70s, not somebody who watched the 80s and the 90s. I'm going to bring you somebody who was watching the game since the 70s and somebody who actually watched Wilt Chamberlain play in person. So I'm going to sit back and learn. I'm going to sit back and do what I do best. Shout out to you, Najee. Thank you for supporting what we do here. And again, shout out to you, Rex. Like I said, I provided you my contact info, Rex. Reach out to me so you and I can discuss all the matters for next week's show. It'll be an open platform for you to shut it down, and like I do every Friday night. So I thank you for actually bringing up that chance and that opportunity to bring you up, because I am looking forward to hear about 60s and 70s basketball, and also how you perceive the GOAT debate in general with Michael Jordan fans and LeBron fans, and how basketball in general still stands today and how you view it. Hopefully the things that I say and the things that you hear from me can help you actually turn on a program here and there, and then you can watch a game and actually see how good it was. As you can see, Rex, you do have fans as well. So shout out to Politicus Rex, and we'll have that great show next week, man. We'll definitely do that. Appreciate you, Rex. That's for sure. But again, they don't want it. They don't want the smoke. And it's crazy because I thought when I started GOAT James Kingdom with Brandon that I was going to get nothing but Zesty Jeffries wanting to argue with me. Back then I used to call them MJ Delusionals. And at first we didn't get nobody in it because nobody knew about us. But then people started seeing what our show was about. And then they started popping up. And then we started exposing them left and right. Because it was very easy to expose Zesty Jeffries because they don't have real knowledge, real information. What they have is lies that they circulate amongst one another. And like I always told you, with a Zesty Jeffries circle, the guy who tells the best lie, that's the guy who gets the most praise, and that's the lie they run with. That's what they do best. That's what they do best. But as y'all know, here in GOAT James Kingdom, we don't play those games. We actually bring up facts. We bring up real information. We show you the truth. We show you reality. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't just sit here and bring up nonsense. So let's bring up what Cleveland is doing right now, because we know they had 80 points. And right now, Cleveland has made 12 three-pointers out of 29 attempts. They're shooting 41% from the three-point line. They've already shot almost 30 three-pointers, and there's still 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. How is the Nuggets going to be able to counter that, right? Let's just bring up what the Nuggets are doing, okay? The Nuggets from the three-point land are shooting 7 of 15. Now, they're shooting good. They're making 46% of their three-pointers, but they're only shot 15 of them. They're only making 7 of them. Now, imagine if they were shooting twice as much and they had 7 more three-pointers made. They would be in the ballgame. They would be winning. But this is why y'all don't know the game of basketball. Let's go further and break this down, why today's NBA is the way it is. Because, again, you guys just don't know the game. And this is why I got to come here and teach it to you. So if we look at the top three-point shooting teams in today's NBA, as you can see, the Cleveland Cavaliers are number 1. If you look at the Knicks, they're number 2. Milwaukee, playoff teams that are, these are all, matter of fact, these are all title contenders. Phoenix Suns are a really good team. If they have Kevin Durant, they'll be higher in their ranking. The Miami Heat are shooting well because Miami Heat have the three-point shooters, and we're also one of the top teams in the East. The Dallas Mavericks, the Denver Nuggets, The only two teams that we see here that are three teams that we can see that are not above 500, are not great teams, are basically the Pacers, Bulls, and the Nets. But these teams have been able to win the games that they've been winning because of the fact that they shoot three-pointers. And you can see the amount of three-pointers that all these teams shoot. They all shoot over 33 pointers per game. And we can look at the Denver Nuggets and see the Denver Nuggets don't shoot that many threes compared to everybody else, but they're one of the best three-point shooting teams. Right? Shout out to you, Frank. Shout out to you, Frank. I listen, we're gonna get there. Because again, what they want to replace that with is this. Mid-range shooting. Why are we going to replace this with mid-range shooting? The best mid-range shooting team in today's NBA is the Brooklyn Nets. The Phoenix Suns are the second best team. They take, as you can see, they take a lot compared to what the Brooklyn Nets take. Then we got OKC, New York, Sacramento, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, the Blazers, the Cavaliers, the Bucks, the Indiana Pacers, to top off the top 10 teams. And you can see here, the worst team in the NBA is in this category in the Portland Trailblazers, who shoot a lot of mid-range shots and shoot 42%. Even if you're shooting as good as the Brooklyn Nets do at 50%, that still does not trump all the teams that we were just talking about who shoot at over 35%, over 37% from the three-point land. So you have to shoot it. And again, look at where these guys are shooting at the restricted area. The restricted area is all the way to the left. So for them to be able to shoot 71% or to get the 25 shots or the 24 shots, like you see Cleveland here, who gets almost 30 shots per game at the rim and shoots at about 64, 65%. To get those shots is because they shoot the three-pointer the way they shoot the three-pointer. The mid-range is not going to change anything. It's either you get to the basket or you shoot the three-pointer. He said also Jared Allen leads the league in offensive rating. Shout out to Darnell Heights, another GOAT James Kingdom member. Always supporting what we do here. Thank you for the super chat. But again, we're not going to throw the ball down on a low block to Jared Allen. We're not going to. I would rather Garland and Donovan Mitchell get some shots off. I would rather them find a way to get their three-point shooters going because they have a lot of great shooters on that team. So that's not bad basketball. That's actually good basketball. The reason you think it's bad basketball because you think nobody can shoot three-pointers. Today's NBA can shoot three-pointers. When the Houston Rockets had the number one three-point shooting team in the NBA and they had a bunch of guys who were shooting horrible from the three-point land, I didn't see none of y'all talking like that. Or when the New York Knicks, let's go to John Starks, who was jacking up a bunch of three-pointers, who was taking almost 6 three-pointers a game and shooting 33% from the three-point land. They had Doc Rivers, who got hurt that year, so we can't count Doc Rivers. Hubert Davis was shooting 40% from the three-point land, but he was coming off the bench. Greg Anthony was the next guy after that. He was shooting 30%. Derek Harper was shooting 36%. The Knicks didn't have no real great three-point shooters. Even if we get to the playoffs. You get the John Starks, who was shooting 35% for the playoffs. They didn't have great shooters. They were not great at shooting the basketball. But these guys were taking a lot of three-pointers in that era because they had to create space for Patrick Ewing. That was the point. You had to give Patrick Ewing his space. You had to give Hakeem Olajuwon hhis space. Because if you didn't give him their space, they were not going to be able to get good shots. It was bad enough that Patrick Ewing is already taking 15-foot fadeaways that are contested. Now you want him to do that with people hovered all over him. Patrick can't put the ball on the ground. We just saw Hakeem Olajuwon travel because he couldn't put the ball on the ground. These guys were not great at dribbling the basketball. These guys were not great at this, man. You guys have to understand that was not great compared to today. I'm watching Bam Adebayo, Joker, bring the ball up the floor, setting up the offense because they're good dribblers. They can dribble the basketball. I'm watching the NBA Finals. Y'all going to sit here and tell me the 1994 NBA Finals where the next best scorer outside of Hakeem Olajuwon was averaging 13 points per game? Shooting 36% from the field. The top 3 scorers outside of Hakeem Olajuwon in NBA Finals shot 36%, 32%, and 42% from the field. That was that. And then let's not get started with the Knicks. I already brought to you how Patrick Ewing was shooting 36% from the field. He didn't even average 20 points per game in the NBA Finals. John Starks was averaging just under 18, shooting 37% from the field. Derek Harper was the next leading scorer for the Knicks. He was shooting 46% from the field. That's not bad. And Charles Oakley was shooting 48% from the field. In total, the Knicks as a team was shooting 40% from the field, 40.7. The Rockets were shooting 42.6% from the field. This is horrible basketball. This is shooting like the guys were shooting in the late 60s. And this is why David Stern was on the NBA trying to tell the NBA and trying to tell fans why the league didn't have any issues at all, and then they were not worrying about ratings or gameplay.
Halftime in Houston, Game 7. Rockets lead the Knicks by 2, 45-43. Joined live now by NBA Commissioner David Stern. David, taking nothing away from the excitement throughout this series and the feeling in this building and the great determination and the achievements of these two teams, the ratings for the finals are down. And many people feel that if this style of play becomes dominant in the NBA, the league will lose some of the elements that led to its popularity. Do you share that concern?
No, I think there's an ebb and flow, Bob. A decade ago, people were saying that we had to change the rules because there was too much scoring, no one played defense, we should have the zone come in. Now there's just a lot of defense being played. We will be looking into maybe tightening up some of the calls, but Charles Oakley doesn't have to apologize for not being Michael Jordan. He's out there hustling, and he's an all-star, and that's a lovely kind of play in its own way, watching players hustle the way these two teams are.
Oh, it didn't stop there. They had all kind of questions for David Stern, man. Rest in peace, David Stern, man. That man there deserves a statue. He deserves an award named after him, just like the Larry O'Brien trophy. The finals trophy is named after the commissioner of the NBA during the 70s for saving the NBA and pulling off the NBA merger and surviving all those lawsuits and all those legal actions that were placed on the NBA during the 70s. Larry O'Brien got his praise for that. David Stern needs his because he handled the NBA perfectly and he gave us the brand of basketball we had today, because back then, they were low in ratings and they had issues then, and then they, on top of that, they needed rule changes to help the NBA.
Recently, I've heard both Pat Riley and Chuck Daly say that unless there are rules changes, and they didn't say this critically, they just said it as an expert's observation, unless there are rules changes, this will be closer to the style of play throughout the league the next few years than in the last decade that was, of course, dominated by Jordan, Johnson, and Bird.
I think you can expect us to look at not rules changes, but possibly tightening up the calls a bit in the looking at it over the summer. Perhaps a little bit more movement, letting players get a little freer than this very tough defense that's being played allows them to. But we're, our ratings are only down domestically. There are 117 countries that are getting this finals. These are the most people that have ever watched an NBA finals in our history.
And trust me, their NBA has no viewership issue. There are more people watching today's NBA game than ever in NBA history. Frank, you want to bring back hand checking for what? When they were saying you couldn't hand check in the 90s.
Play as Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
Foul on Cassell.
Rockets foul number 10, Sam Cassell, his first.
Sam Cassell. Ball for his first team foul on the Rockets.
You can see both hands on the dribbler now just grabbing the arm. And this Sam
hand
sitting on the
checking.
bench has to
Call
recognize
for hand
and see
checking.
what happened early in the ballgame. Well, one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment. But he is a rookie.
Called on everybody.
With the rejection.
Hand
Kelly
checking.
lost it off his foot. Kelly. Last touch by Herrera.
Well, I was making the point earlier that Patrick Ewing was looking to pass the ball quite a bit. Right now, he doesn't look sure at what he wants to do. Here, he took the shot with Olajuwon draped all over him. Play as Patrick Ewing.
So first off, that was like, again, that's what the Knicks had, was Patrick Ewing taking those 18-foot fadeaways with Akeem all over them. But as you can see, Frank, they called hand checking. Matter of fact, the actual signal for hand checking is this. You'll see them call this. This is called hand checking. This is the hand checking rule or the hand checking signal for a referee. Let's watch the actual referee call the hand checking call.
Play as Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane.
Watch the referee on the bottom. Watch him. Look. Right there. Hand checking. Right there. Hand checking. Pushing him. You're hand checking.
Ball for his first team foul on the Rockets.
Right here, look, two hands.
On the dribbler, now just grabbing
hand checking.
Sam sitting on the bench has to recognize.
That's what they called hand checking.
In the ball game, when one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment. But he is a rookie.
You heard the man said they called it on Kenny Smith and on Ron Harper earlier in the game, because hand checking has always been a rule in the NBA. You don't play defense by hand checking. You play defense with active hands and moving your feet, staying in front of your defender, cutting off angles, and you keep active hands so that they can't make the right pass or that you can try to get the steal. But you don't play defense by sticking your hands out. That's why the NBA, those are all lies. All lies. All lies. Not only was they calling hand checking, they were calling for them to stop having physicality. They were basically, fans were complaining that the game was too physical, there was too many fights, too much trash talking. They wanted the NBA to clean itself up because they were calling it bad basketball. The NBA has always had issues, but y'all don't know this because y'all were just kids at this time. As Frank said, he wasn't even born around this time. Frank was born in 1997. Frank know nothing of this. This is new to Frank. Because for over the last 27 years of Frank's life, no one's ever been able to expose this but the Friday Night Exposure and the Exposer right here on GOAT James Kingdom. Let's go ahead and show you why they were complaining about physicality and how the NBA was ahead of the curve when it came to trash talking, physicality, and silly sportsmanship that y'all love to praise that y'all claim today NBA doesn't have, but y'all want it to be brought back.
Lastly, these finals for the most part have been played clean and hard, but as you know, there has been a problem over the last couple of months with a perception, and it's not unique to basketball, it's throughout the sports world, that there's a tone of trash talking and confrontation and fighting. What, if anything, can be done to cut that back?
That's easy. Our fans have come to depend on us to be the leader here. And next year, you'll see that the reduction in violence, which was significant, the reduction this year, is going to be even greater, and we won't disappoint our fans. Our players are great athletes, hustling athletes, and they're not going to be fighting or doing the kinds of things that are going to turn off fans, and particularly kids.
David, thanks a lot. Sit back and enjoy the second half of Game 7.
It's very tense.
It is that. The Rockets leading the Knicks by 2.
See, David Stern did a great job making sure you as a kid was not turned away from the NBA and cleaned it up so that the brand of basketball we have today is available for you as an adult. And what do you do but spit on that man's grave? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, gentlemen? That's why I call y'all Zesty Jeffries. That's why I say y'all never really basketball fans. Y'all not NBA fans. Y'all don't got a team y'all root for. There's not a player in today's NBA that y'all root for. So y'all have no investing in being in the NBA. Y'all have no investment in the NBA at all. None at all. And like I said, the NBA was so bad back then that they decided to give them the WNBA three-point line.
Moving in the three-point line, maybe not as close as college rules, but is that possible?
Yes, when we play at the McDonald's Open, we have a diplomatically negotiated three-point line in Europe. It's usually at about 22 feet, someplace between the international line and our 23.9 at its highest at the key. But I think that's something that the steering committee has been looking at very closely, as well as after the Olympics, the whole issue of the trapezoid, the Olympic lane. Those are two issues that come and go. But as the scores get lower, my guess is the competition committee is going to want to look at it a little more carefully.
Yo, shout out to Lo. Peace and blessings, Lo. Lo said, where did I find these clips? Come on, Lo. You know we basketball fans, bruh. I find these clips because the basketball gods are in my favor, young man. This was not hard research, man. This was not hard research, man. You have been an inspiration to me, Lo, because you made me feel like I don't know enough. I had to go watch games, because you've showed me how to go back and watch games, because you've gone back and watched countless games. Like you said, you're a real basketball fan, but trust me, man, it's the basketball gods, Lo. They're in our favor, man. They love what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. They want us to have all the right information to expose Zesty Jeffries, not only on a Friday night exposure, but also on a Sunday afternoon with B. Lee and A. Johnny, where we go live every Sunday noon to talk the game of basketball. We don't hide from nobody. We make sure we show up every noon, Sunday, and we do the Lord's work. And the Lord is in our favor. I can send it to you. I'll show you the channel that I found it on, and it's the whole game, commercial and all, Lo. The commercial and all, like the whole. That's how I was able to watch the halftime show when I was watching the game, and he was like, "We're gonna talk to the commissioner at halftime." I was like, "Oh, it's a wrap for the Zesty Jeffries. It's a wrap for them." They didn't know what they were about to encounter. They didn't know what they were about. I didn't even know what I was going to encounter, because I don't remember seeing that. Because, again, I was 13. At halftime, I was not trying to listen to no David Commissioner, no David Stern speak about anything. So I don't even remember that. But, yeah, this was a good clip. I'll send it to you, Lo. And you can join. And, you know, like I said, you can go ahead and expose it, because they're liars. Lo, you know that, Lo. You've been making great videos and great content about it, explaining how the league has always had issues. Right? It's no different. In the 2000s, it was the same. You know what I'm saying? Especially after the Malice in the Palace. The Malice in the Palace was the actual piece that all of the people who were saying the NBA was horrible and too physical and a bad brand of basketball, that's what they needed. Look, they got guys jumping into the stands fighting the fans. Although that happened before. Vernon Maxwell went into the stands and fought a fan before. But that wasn't big news back then, because back then, sports fans being a part of the game itself was a big thing. They used to let fans run onto the court, run onto the field. That was a big thing in baseball. When Hank Aaron hit the home run to broke the record, there was a dude that ran out while he was actually running the bases to congratulate him. So it was common for fans and players to kind of interact, and there was really no dangerous situation about it. But the Malice in the Palace changed everything, because it was on ESPN. So it was a bigger audience. The time Vernon Maxwell went on to the stands, I don't even think that game was on national television. You had to be a Houston Rocket fan or the team that was playing against the Houston Rockets fan to see what happened, unless ESPN showed it and brought it up. You see what I'm saying? But the Malice in the Palace, I remember that day. That's one of my most memorable NBA moments as an NBA fan. I remember the game was over. I was actually leaving my friend's house because the game was over. They were blowing out the Pacers. The game was, the Pistons. And as I was pulling out of the driveway, my homeboy ran out. I was like, "Yo, they're fighting. Y'all got to come back and see this." It was like three of us. We all pulled our car back into the driveway, got back out, and went and watched the rest of the thing. And for the next 30 minutes, all they talked about on ESPN and everything was the Malice in the Palace. That's when you get Bill Walton saying, "This is the lowest moment in NBA history." Let me bring up Ishmael. Shout out to Ishmael, a GOAT James Kingdom member. But, excuse me. But again, these are all the lies that I'm so glad I was able to show and expose here on a Friday night. What's good? What's good, Ishmael?
What's up, hey Johnny? Hey, I appreciate for letting me on the show and everything. I think it's a great show and exposing like the hypocrisy a lot of the old heads or Jordan fans got on today's basketball. I just wanted to say that to me, basketball has been really competitive. It's super competitive for me, because like when I first started it, I remember games that they used to be out of reach when you reached like 20 points. And they just let the second guys come in, or the second unit, and that was pretty much the end of the game. Like games today, to me, are just so much more competitive, even against the worst teams in the NBA. Like it's never out of reach. It's always a way to be able to. You have to continuously play in order to make sure that you're going to win. And like when I went to that game on Christmas Day, I mean, that was the first time I ever saw LeBron James play. I've seen a lot of hoopers, even from Pro-Am. I've never seen a player like that in my life, even at old age. I've never seen that. It's like he's got to be a freak. He's like a freak of nature or something, man. It's crazy. But I've seen a lot of Curry games and whatnot, and I've just seen a lot of hoops, and that was really a big deal to watch. Like the atmosphere and everything. Like I'll just say that online is not real. I think a lot of people like this brand of basketball. I don't know what people are really seeing in real life to make a case by that, but that's my take on it.
Yeah, indeed. Shout out to Lo. Thank you for joining me, Lo. What's good, brother?
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
I just put it. I just put it in the private chat for you, bro.
I see.
Hey, you'll have fun. Watch it with the commercials, because even the commercials, you be like, damn, these are the type of commercials that were going on. And mind you, you had to watch the commercials. There was no flipping the channel. There was no.
You had to. Yeah. Everything you saying is 100% true. We talked about this before. It's not because of it. I mean, not saying that it's they can't change the game. But like everything that people are saying right now about like how the game is just like played one specific way and it's dominating the league, they said the exact same thing in the 90s. There isn't a face of the NBA that's as bright as Michael Jordan or LeBron James, and so it's easier to just focus on the flaws. But there's always been problems in the league. There's always been issues. Even when people complain about refereeing, bro, back in the early 2000s. The refereeing was so bad that people thought that referees are gambling against games, which come to find out some of them actually were doing that. So like, there's always been a problem with the NBA. Anybody sitting here saying that it's been like this perfect product, it's heavily based in nostalgia. And when people argue these things, they refuse to acknowledge that this is the most efficient the game has ever been, the most skilled the game has ever been. And I don't know why people push back against it. I have no idea.
It's hilarious. Low. The funny thing about was watching that, right? Because again, I was watching it, and every time I go back and watch a game from the 1900s, they call illegal defense. Every game, bro. It's not a game I've watched they don't call illegal defense. And these guys don't understand how illegal defense allowed for spacing, which is all the three-point shooting does today. It just creates spacing. So instead of you having a rule saying, hey, I got to go out here and guard this man, it's his skill. It's his ability to shoot off the dribble or shoot in a catch and shoot situation that makes you stay 5 feet close to him instead of just, trailing off of him. And they don't get that. And the sad part is that they claim they were watching it. That's why we have to listen to them tell us these lies, and we all know they never watched it.
No, they did not. And that's what, and even when I be sitting here, when people sitting here and say like, oh, they need to put like a cap on 3-point shooting and stuff like that, it's like, bro, y'all just like the issue is that a lot of y'all don't fundamentally understand like strategy and spacing, because a lot of things that people say just go against whatever the NBA has always been. It's always been what's the best way to try to play the game, even if it means that it's going to be unwatchable. They don't care because it's a sport. It's competition. So if it means that we have to hold the ball to the point where the end score will be 21-19, and that's why we have a shot clock, that's what they're going to do. If we're going to sit here and just throw the ball to somebody saying next to the paint and dunking it over and over and over again, like Wilt did, and that's the reason why we opened up the lane, it doesn't matter about how the product looks or not. We're trying to figure out how can we win the best game of basketball. And during the 90s, it was a bunch of teams exploiting illegal defense and throwing it into the post with bigs and having them back down as long as they wanted to, because there were no rules. This is before 3-second back down. This before play. There was a restriction on how long you could stay in the lane as a big, and this is why illegal defense still existed. So this idea of like teams and players and coaches exploiting the game as much as they can, that's going to occur in any instance of competition. That's just how that works.
Facts, all facts. Matter of fact, look, why do you need a 3-second rule, right, when there is nobody in the paint anyways?
Well, they brought in that rule for Shaq, didn't they? Right?
No, they brought that rule in because they allowed zone. So what they did was, okay, we're going to let you play zone. We're not going to allow you to just sit in the paint. That way that it doesn't totally restrict the offense, because they still wanted people to dunk and get to the paint. So that means now you can play zone, but you just can't sit in the middle of the paint and guard nobody. You have to be guarding somebody if you're in the paint. But here, as you can see here, if you don't want nobody in the paint, you just take your big man. And as you can see, their power forward in this situation, I believe, is Robert Horry. He's pointing at the referee and basically telling him, hey, Oakley is playing illegal defense. He's not guarding me. Even though Oakley's not even in the paint.
That's crazy.
The Shaq one was Shaq was so dominant, he would just bulldozer over people, and so that's why we now have charges because how overwhelmingly dominant he was. Like every rule that's set in place is because at some point there was someone who was so shameless at trying to win that they didn't care about how the products looked. And every single year, every single generation, there's always someone complaining about what the product looks like. Because back then, Wilt and Bill Chamberlain. I said it again. Wilt and Bill Russell would sit there and they would complain about how Shaq got away with a bunch of like offensive fouls that would never ever occur back in their day. So this is the excessive of like just constantly complaining is something that always occurred. But I realize that most of the people who complain about this stuff, y'all just want to complain, and now y'all think that y'all opinions are valid because the ratings are down. That's it. Y'all think that. Y'all think that for whatever reason.
I think, Lo, that personally, I feel like the problem right now in the league is storytelling and media, and there hasn't been a face who has taken over since Bron. It's like Bron is still here. Like, yeah, Jokic is a more talented player right now. He's a better player, but he's not exciting. That's part of the issue.
But why do you need a face?
Jokic's not exciting. What kind of basketball?
At all. He's not exciting to watch at all. I am not going to do this right now. He's not a stat pattern.
Why does the NBA need a face though? Can't people just enjoy basketball? I'm not sure. Like,
I don't want to fight this right now. Like, bro,
Joker is bad basketball. It's boring. Yo, I be looking at Joker do stuff that I be like, wow. I don't know what y'all be watching.
Like watching Duncan, bro. That's what it comes down to. It's like watching fucking Duncan to me. He's not exciting to watch. He's a super skilled player. He's fantastic. He's the best player in the league. It's him and Giannis. But he's not fun to watch, bro. They didn't even have Giannis on Christmas or Shea. That's messed up. That's crazy.
We didn't need that.
Like, come on, bro.
We had Wemby. We had Wemby go ham.
Yeah, Wemby did, but LeBron and Curry can't
is still king.
Come on, man. Well, listen, Jason Tatum had a great game. Boston played great.
It was still a really great day.
It was good games across all. It was good games across the board. That's what I was going to ask you, though. How did you feel about the games? Was it a 5 out of 5? How many of the games did you give a thumbs up to?
I
gave all 5. I gave all 5.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch all games from start to finish because I was like traveling around. But I will say this: I do gotta go. They were great. I think all around it's a really good day for the NBA overall, so I'm not really complaining about it. But the NBA does have to have a face because the league isn't old enough to rely on like historic like teams being this rich history culture. It's not old enough at that point yet. There are a lot of these teams that have only existed for like 20-25 years, and a lot of these other teams that have existed longer just they don't have that much history behind them. So they have to have a star. They've packaged the whole identity of the sport behind a star. And I agree that Jokic isn't entertaining enough to the casual fan, but to us, I think for people who really watch him, of course. But the truth of the matter is like, but also I'll say this though.
I hate that, but wait a second, Lo. That term is horrible. Casual fan, bro.
It's not. Like, it's a real term. It exists. It exists.
They have to exist.
Yeah, they exist. We had a bunch of casuals watching basketball on Christmas. Go ahead, though. Finish up your low. Yeah.
But at one point, we were all casuals anyway. At one point, we were entering. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, we all had to transition. But the bigger issue is, I agree that the way that media members prop up the game is ridiculous because Jokic should not be going around doing what he's doing. And you have a media member like Nick Wright try to tell people that he's the worst MVP in NBA history. Like that should not occur. Yep. There shouldn't be a bunch of people trying to push. Remember when Giannis was on his run and it was Chris Middleton is the real Batman. He's really closing games and he should win finals. Like that, those things is what continues to deter people from gravitating to these players, even if they're not as entertaining or marketable as a LeBron, a Kobe, an MJ, et cetera, et cetera. So yes. That level of stardom doesn't exist anymore, but whatever we have now, you have to make the most out of it, and they're not making the most out of it. And personally, I think Wemby is also just very entertaining to watch. The fact that he doesn't have as many The fact that he's not having as many national televised games as a lot of other teams.
I love me some NBA. I can't wait to watch him play. I can't wait to watch more games of him, man. You're right, Lo, man. Thanks for showing up, Lo, man. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you for the link, man. Thank you for the
Yeah, no problem, man. Enjoy it, man. Have fun. I can't wait to see what you make out of it, man. Shout out to Lo. Lo's in the building.
He actually has a great channel, too. I've watched all his videos and posts, so I want to say that.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Lo. Listen, Lo, NBA fans, that's all they got. It's people like you, people like me, people like Chilltown, guys who really talk hoops. Because if we let Scap Attack and what's this dude, Carcino and Meltdown Sports and those dudes, and even such things like Bleacher Report, they're just shock jock. They're calling me a shock jock. Here this guy saying here, hey, Johnny say Mike was not exciting. When have I ever said Michael Jordan wasn't exciting? I've never said that. That's never came out of my mouth. I could never say such a thing if I'm a basketball fan, but you guys can't help it. That's why you get exposed tonight. Now, I am a shock jock because I officially got my PhD today, and I shocked you today with real truth, so now you can wake up from your nightmare or go back to sleep to your nightmare, which is seeing me show up every Friday night on FYF and GOAT James Kingdom, man. Shout out to you, Lo, man. Enjoy, brother. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's, brother. Be safe out here, brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Y'all, listen, man. I'm not here to shock nobody. Like I told y'all, I'm not here to get no approvals. I'm not here for none of that. I'm here to just provide y'all with the real truth. Because y'all have been lied to well too long, and y'all are too grown to keep believing these lies. And as you can see, Frank is growing up today. Frank got a few more chest hairs today after talking with A. Johnny.
That's funny, bro. I literally talk all day, bro. Like, that's the thing. I just love talking ball talk, and I know what I saw, and I know that you're big on King James too. I know what I saw. They needed to bring Kevin Durant to that team to beat him. That's what I saw. He would have won in 2015 had Kyrie and Love not gotten hurt. I don't care what nobody says. He had a starting point guard of Dellavedova. Bum. I'm sorry, but that's what I saw. So I know what I saw, and my eyes don't lie to me. He won 4 times out of 10. Fine. I don't really give a F because I know what I saw, and my eyes don't lie to me. And that's it.
Listen, I don't know how many people who was in the GOAT debate could even make 10 championships, let alone win 10 championships. So all this stuff about yeah, exactly. But supposedly Bill Russell's not in the GOAT debate. Because he doesn't score enough. Because he doesn't score enough to be in the GOAT debate. Mind you, 11 championships is not enough to be in the GOAT debate because you can't score enough.
But that isn't fair either because he was amazing at defense. So how much value do you put on defense? And how much do you put on rebounding? And how much value do you put on time period, era? There's just so many factors at bay, bro.
Yeah. So. Now, I just think that the ESPN and TNT's do a horrible job. I know Lamont had a live on Christmas where he talked about how the local media and the fall of local media is what's been destroying the ratings. I don't think so because, again, this idea that you can't watch your local games on League Pass is nothing new. Even with the NFL League Pass, you cannot watch your regional games. That's not available to you on League Pass. It's a blackout. And it's not because of a sellout. That's what the NFL does. If the NFL games are not sold out, you don't get a chance to watch on League Pass. The NBA doesn't do that. The NBA has sellouts all the time. The game's just not available because they want you to go to cable. That's why the cable payers pay for the rights to show it so that you can watch it. You should have cable television to watch your local TV. That's basically what they're saying. Because they're not excluding a cable from it. But if you want to watch your team play from your city and your town, you can watch it. I mean, go ahead, Frank.
I honestly don't even watch games on cable because I think it's too expensive. I just go elsewhere. Like, I don't want to say sites, obviously, but
yeah. No, I got you, but that's why the ratings are down because I brought up Napster. Just because everybody was running to Napster to get their music and record sales was down, does that mean records were bad, that there was bad music being put out there and distributed? No. It's just that people found another way to access their music. Today, you can access your NBA without cable television, which back in the 90s, that was the only way to access the NBA, was on cable television. So you don't have to necessarily watch cable television anymore to watch the NBA. I don't have cable television at all. I haven't had cable television in almost a decade, to be honest with you, bro. Because, like you said, it's just not worth it. Because all those channels, and I don't even watch it. Go ahead, Ishmael.
I think a lot of people really just don't like basketball like that. I think that is what it is. It seems like it's mostly stars type of thing. Because if Lowe's point is that it's because the NBA doesn't have a star, then it's just that if you have to have a star in order for people to watch competitive athletes really do the best they can in order to win, and we know not every player is always like that, but for the most part they are trying to win. They're being competitive, they work hard, they're getting paid to do it for a reason to play hard. If you don't like that, if you don't like competition, and if that's not enough, like being competitive in sports, then that just sounds like you don't like basketball, in my opinion.
Facts, and that's what it is. They're casuals. That's why we say they're casuals, because the NBA grew. The NBA grew because of casuals.
Though, like, bro, this is the point. People want to see people compete and go back and forth at each other. That sells. So that's why stars going back and forth at each other. That's my point. Seeing the stars go back and forth.
No, you're not wrong. You're not. No, wait, but Frank, you're not wrong, because that's what. Because see, that's why the NBA. But that's why the NBA created the illegal defense. Because I don't know this. Every other basketball, professionally or amateur-wise, allows for zone defense. The game was created to be a team game, but to promote the professional league, the NBA, the BBA at that time, and the NBL decided to promote rivalries within players. And it's always been the players that's always pushed the NBA. So it started with George. It started George Mikan. Exactly. It started with George Mikan. But it's not like there's no players today. The reason you guys don't like the players today is because Stephen A. second place and Skip Bayless are the guys who keep telling you those guys are not Michael and Kobe. Fuck Mike and Kobe. I watch Joker. Because Joker can play the fucking game of basketball. He's good. And I'm a basketball fan. If you started watching basketball because of Michael Jordan, more than likely you don't know basketball. You know Michael Jordan and Kobe. If you think taking an 18-foot contested fadeaway jumper is good fucking basketball, you don't know basketball.
Johnny,
there's plenty of stars in today's NBA. There's 7 stars playing tonight.
But they're not.
There was 7 stars playing the other night. You don't like it? Go watch football. Football is horrible. Where they can't take off their helmets. You can walk past a football player in the fucking grocery store and wouldn't even know who the fuck he is.
John, the problem is our players aren't playing on Christmas. They didn't have no fucking Giannis and no fucking Shea on fucking Christmas. Those are your.
You didn't need Shea. You had Ant-Man. You had Luka Doncic. You had Jalen Brunson. You had Cat Williams. You had Wemby. You had Jason Tatum. You had Kevin Durant. You had Joker. You had stars. Frank, stop believing that bullshit. These are stars.
That's the problem.
No, I'm not arguing with you. You don't want to accept facts. Those are the league stars. Those guys are better than Patrick Ewing. They're better than Akeem Olajuwon. They're better than Penny Hardaway. They're better than Allen Iverson. They're better than all those guys that were promoted throughout the 2000s.
Can I say something? Johnny, you're making compelling arguments because. Hold on. He's making compelling arguments because, like, if the rules was like.
He's getting mad because I'm bringing up straight fucking facts. Giannis and Shea are top 5 players in the fucking game.
I'm having issues.
And Giannis and Shea, since you say that, and Giannis and Shea, so why is Giannis and Shea not the most watched players in today's NBA? Why are they not the most watched players?
Chilltown Hoops said the same fucking thing, okay? Shea and fucking Giannis should be fucking playing on Christmas. It's that simple.
And I told Chilltown he should shut the fuck up and stop lying to the people when we had 7 stars playing that same day. We did not need SGA and Giannis, 2 players that none of y'all watch. Nobody watches them. They're not the most watched players in the NBA. So why are you complaining? You just want to complain instead of being a fan. You're casual. Casuals complain. Fans watch. That's the difference, bro.
I'm a casual.
Yes, you're a casual, bro. I'm going to keep calling you a casual when you're going to tell me that they didn't put on SGA and Giannis, so that's a problem? That's not a problem because SGA and Giannis was in the in-season tournament. Were you watching the in-season tournament because Giannis and SGA were playing?
Was I watching it?
Yes, I'm asking you. I called you the casual. Did you watch the in-season tournament?
The in-season tournament, I think, is fucking stupid.
Get the fuck off my show. Get the fuck off my... You heard what he just said? It's stupid. So why the fuck would I put on Giannis and SGA on Christmas Day for you to call it stupid? Like, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is why I get the way I get. Y'all are hilarious. This man legitimately just said that he didn't watch the in-season tournament with the 2 stars in the league that the NBA should be playing on Christmas Day because everybody wants to see them play. I didn't see it because I think the in-season tournament is stupid. Well, guess what, Frank? You were saying some smart shit earlier, but just now, you're the fucking stupid one. This is why Friday night is necessary. You're going to see the game better now. Your mind is exposed to things you've never been exposed to. Stop coming on GOAT James Kingdom because Chilltown said some shit. I'm going to be with Chilltown tomorrow, and I'm going to bring up what you just said, Frank, and explain to him why he needs to stop lying with the Zesty Jeffries. There was no need for Giannis and SGA on Christmas Day. None at all. All 5 games were great.
Hey, Johnny, I might be ignorant to some of this, but you kind of make some compelling arguments because, like, if the NBA's product is bad because of the three-point shot and the rules changes, wouldn't that be the same thing for the NFL? Because the NFL is worse. Like, it's a lot worse with rule changes and, like, didn't they change the kickoff and stuff like that? And
everything. Matter of fact, let me bring up the comment here because somebody just asked me that. One of these Zesty Jeffries in the comment asked me, do I think the NBA has a better brand than the NFL? And yes. The NFL I grew up watching does not exist anymore. The NFL that I grew up loving and appreciating does not exist anymore. And it's softer. It's horrible. They don't run the ball. They can't play defense. You can't hit a quarterback. Every time somebody's helmet hit another guy's helmet, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
It's a horrible brand of football. I don't like it. And I've been stopped watching football because of it. And you don't hear me talk about it because I don't watch it. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a football fan because I was watching it for 20-something years of my life, and I don't watch it now. But the guys who still wake up every fucking Sunday and get drunk and watch football no matter how the game is, I'm supposed to go bother them and tell them that they're horrible fans? No, let them watch their game because that's what they want to watch. So don't be like Frank here and show up on a Friday night trying to tell us that basketball is bad because he still wants to hold on to the 2000s when he was fucking 8-9 years old. Nobody, there's not a platform here. I'm sorry, I'm going to let you go, Ishmael. There's not a platform that y'all ever go to from anybody here that allows a 9-10-year-old to step up and speak about the game of basketball that they've been watching. And since at 9-10 years old, you were able to watch basketball and you were able to say it was great, then leave the 9-10-year-old that's now alone and let him see basketball as great as for him. Stop trying to spoil it for him. But go ahead, Ishmael.
I also don't see how, like, the NFL is not that star-studded as I think. Like, yeah, a lot of guys play in the NFL and you will not recognize them in the streets. I mean, it's just like you have to really, like, be a fan of football like that in order to recognize some players or a team. Because, you know, a lot of guys built like some NFL players and they may have played in college, and you may ask them if they play in the league, but it's not like the NBA because it's not as many athletes. There's not a helmet that you put on. They're just not tied to just a number. There's a face. They're a face of a team or a face of a franchise. The NFL is not like that because the average NFL career is like 2 to 3 years or something like that. It depends on the circumstances. So it's just I don't really see the whole you need another star in order to bring more people in and just watch basketball because they're starstruck. That just means you're starstruck. You're not really like you don't really find the sport entertaining like that, or you like the competitive nature of it. In my perspective. So it's like I enjoy watching basketball. Like I don't know all these guys and stuff like that. I only watch a certain amount of teams, but when I watch other teams, it's very competitive. The games are closer. It's like it's always in reach. It's not like teams are just even when teams are tanking, the games are still competitive. So it's like, man, that's all I'm saying.
I'm with you, Ishmael. Lies. Look, here you go again. Frank can't handle it. He goes, "Hey, Johnny made my point for me. Soft ass league. That's the NBA now. The NBA's not soft.
I don't get that. Like, it's just like
the NBA's not soft. Need to go back to something. What we want to go back to? This is what you want to go back to. This is what you want to go back to. Wait, no. Let's go. Let's go back.
Picked off by Cassell.
And it all started with the good pressure of Cassell, and he also read the play and forced Harper into an uncomfortable position and a bad turnover.
Here we go. Where's the physicality? Where? Where's being physical at? Where? Look. Here, look. Foul. What physicality? Where?
So Akeem will go to the line.
People are just saying stuff anymore. Like when I see,
it doesn't matter what the image is, Adrian. Today's league won't be able to escape the soft image unless the physicality returns. Better bring back hand checking. Bring back hand checking. You guys are lying. Stop lying. You couldn't hand check then.
As Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
Foul on Cassell.
Rockets foul number 10, Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell.
Listen as he says other players got called for it.
On the Rockets.
You can see both hands on the dribbler, now just grabbing the arm. And this Sam sitting on the bench has to recognize and see what happened early in the ballgame when one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment, but he is a rookie.
Olajuwon with the rejection. Ewing lost it off his foot. Kelly. Last touch by Herrera.
Well, I was making the point earlier that Patrick Ewing was looking to pass the ball quite a bit. Right now, he doesn't look sure at what he wants to do. Here, he took the shot with Olajuwon draped all over him.
You guys are liars. You didn't watch the game then. You don't watch it now. So why should I even listen to any one of you guys? You watched less than 15 years of basketball your entire life. Why am I listening to any one of you guys? I can't tell you the truth. I can't show you the truth. You guys are just delusional. There's something wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with me or NBA fans or the NBA. There's something wrong with you. Keep saying you want to watch this. Go watch this game. Go watch this game. I'm not just showing you one clip. He said that they called hand checking on two other players for the same thing. You were not allowed to hand check. Hand checking is not a defensive move. It is not anything that's going to help you stop Kyrie Irving, Trae Young, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is better than any guard on the Knicks. Any one of those guards on the Knicks. Tyler Hero 10 times better than those guys. By far. Could play better defense, could do everything.
Hey, Johnny, I wanted to say that I feel like you have the physicality thing. TV does a disservice with that because when I was at the game, it's a ton of physicality. Like, guys are always fighting through screens. Guys are always trying to seal their man from the post so they won't receive the ball at the post. Like, it's really physical in a lot of aspects. And I just think that it does a disservice also when you're a fan and you don't really try to go watch games and you try to only watch highlights and just make, I think absurd statements like that. But it's very physical. Even the physicality is different because guys are even physical against players that are shooting from the outside. You got to be able to be physical against players that move without the ball because it's not easy. So
they call more fouls back then than they call today's NBA. You talking about ticky-tack fouls, physicality, whatever. Was this physical enough to call a foul, or was this a ticky-tack foul?
Well, as Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
That looks like a ticky-tack foul to me. That looks like a ticky-tack foul to me.
Sam Cassell. Ball for his first team foul on the Harper.
Ticky-tack foul to me. You didn't watch the game, Frank. Get mad all you want to because you guys sat around here and talked with other people, and other people was like, "Yeah, man, the game is soft. I agree with you, man. You so smart, Frank." Not here. You're gonna get called stupid here. You're gonna get exposed here for saying something that stupid, because that's what I show up every Friday night to do, to expose those lies. You guys are going to stop going around telling people lies about the game of basketball you never watched, and then tell people you're a basketball fan. You're a casual. You only started watching basketball because of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Two guys who played the game of basketball horribly. They were not good basketball players. They were good at shooting the ball. They were good at dribbling. But playing the game of basketball requires you to play with 4 other guys on the basketball court and to play in harmony and in cohesion with those guys. If you don't know how to do that, you're a bad basketball player. And it is a fact that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan could not do those things very well. It took Phil Jackson to get them to do any of those things well. Those are all facts. I don't hate Michael Jordan. I don't hate Kobe Bryant. I hate the lies that y'all keep saying about these guys. They're not the greatest guys at playing the game of basketball. Taking a contested 20-foot fadeaway jump shot is bad basketball. Not taking an open three-pointer. Matter of fact, y'all were talking about bad basketball because guys are just running around here just jacking up three-pointers. What about this fucking play?
Well, if you make a mistake in there, it's going to be very difficult to recover.
Here we go, look. Here we go, look. What is he going to do? He's just going to shoot the ball. Why? Because he's fucking open. Shoot it. If he doesn't shoot it, they're never going to play defense on him. Never going to. Look, they can't even make a simple pass. Look, a foul. Look at that, a foul. A quick foul being called. Yeah, come on. You know what? Let's let Frank come up here and explain himself. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go. Fucking talk. Go.
Explain what, Johnny? Explain what? Explain what? So you're gonna put me on the whole channel. How's it going? Every point that I made was valid. They called ticky-tack fouls today, but Johnny just fucking cries. When. It's so bad. It's not true. I guarantee you a lot of people here know it's true.
You really think the game is soft?
I'm sorry?
Like, you really think that?
Yeah, I do think that. Do you actually watch the games, buddy, or no?
Yeah, man, I think I don't know what you're looking at. They're not soft, bro. They're not soft at all. I don't see that at all, bro. It's basketball. I'm not understanding what you seeing like will make it soft. Like,
what?
I'm sorry.
Question: Do you think that in today's game they call ticky-tack fouls? Yes or no?
I think they do that all eras, regardless. Like, it's it's part of the game. Sometimes that happens, but I wouldn't say they call mostly. Like, it's just a soft error without any physicality. You can even pinpoint, even if you watch LeBron James gets swatted across the head and they don't even call it. There are fouls that are physical and they don't call them. So it's like.
But this is my point. Johnny is getting mad about nonsense. Nothing I said was false. That's part of my issue. Nothing I said was false. What did
everything you just said was false?
Tell me that. Okay, then, bro. Tell me.
Okay, they do not call ticky-tack fouls. They call fouls. Those are fouls. Those are fouls. That's what those are. You fouled the man, so the referee did his job and called the foul.
No, stop yelling. Pull up a clip and show me a real foul. That's what
I
want to see.
No, wait. Define a real foul. Wait. Define a real foul. Frank, define a real foul. Please, define a real foul. Define what a real foul is. Define it, please.
Okay, if I am driving to the paint and somebody whacks me like this on the arm, that's a fucking foul. Common sense. Exactly. Common sense. It's not complicated, bro.
They don't call that in today's game.
Hold on, wait. No. Okay. So somebody whacking you on the arm is considered a real foul. Is there anything else on the basketball court that can be called a real foul?
Can you tell me? I have just answered that question. Now you gotta do me now a favor and show me clips.
Hey, Johnny.
No, hold on, wait. Why do I gotta show you a clip? Wait. So no. There's no.
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing, nigga. Sit your ass down.
What did you think this was, Frankie? What do you think you was at, Frankie? This is the Friday Night Exposure. You don't cut me off. I asked you the questions. You answered it. Now I was going to ask you another question, but you can't handle the heat. All you want to do is talk bullshit. Nobody cares what you got to say today, my friend.
Do I give a fuck? No, not one. How many fucks do I give? 0. Exactly. So therefore your comment is irrelevant.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
You asked me to show you a real foul. I asked you to give me a definition of what a real foul is. You said getting hacked over the arm is considered a real foul, which we all will agree. If you hack a player over the arm, it's a foul. They do not call that ticky-tack fouls. So again, I ask you, what's considered another foul? What is something else that we can say is a real foul? We all know hitting somebody over the arm is a real foul. They call that in today's NBA. They call that since NBA has started. What other ones are that? Then you want to get mad and tell me to go show you an NBA where they foul you. They call fouls in today's NBA. You can't hit somebody's arm and don't call it a foul unless you're LeBron James. Now, if you're telling me that they hit players in the arm and they don't call fouls, is that what you're saying, Frank? That players today get hit in the arm and they don't call a foul? Or players in the 90s? Let me ask you a question. In the 90s, players get hit in the arm and they didn't call a foul?
Did players in the 90s get hit in the arm?
Matt, hold wait. Let me retract that because your dumbass didn't watch the 90s. In the 2000s, Kobe get in the 2000s, a player in the 2000s, if a player got hit in the arm, did they call a foul? Yes or no, sir? If a player got hit in the arm, did they call a foul? Yes or no, sir?
Yes, bro.
Okay, in today's NBA, if a player gets hit in his arm, do they call a foul? Yes or no, sir?
Of course. I'm saying
I think, okay. I'm glad that you answered that. Again, you don't control the show. You answered the question. You are going to sit there and listen to me.
Let's discuss. I ain't discussing shit with no goddamn kid. Motherfucker, let me tell you something. Who give a fuck?
Sit your ass down.
Again, you're going to sit in the dugout because you can't comprehend the conversation. You wanted to have this conversation. I brought you up to have this conversation. You don't want to have this conversation. You think people really give a fuck what you got to say, Frankie? No. They give a fuck the answers that I asked you to fucking answer. That's what they want. They want to hear you answer my questions.
Well, first of all, you have the presumption that people care what you say. They don't.
Sit your ass down.
I'm going to ask you again, Frankie.
All right, Johnny.
What else is considered a real NBA foul so we can show it to you? Because you want us to show you a real NBA foul that they don't call in today's NBA.
It's your show. Take over, bro. You're
you
right.
sure? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I'm positive, bro.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Sit your ass down.
You funny, Johnny.
But let's be real, bro. Let's be real. Y'all know I'm very respectful. I brought the man up. And it wasn't until he couldn't accept the facts that he tried to hold on, Lamont. They try to hold on so much, and I don't know why they holding on. They must have blisters from holding on.
Hey, I thought you was gonna tell him just the other day when Philly played and Tyrese Maxey came down for the game winner. He got raked across the arm. The ref held the whistle. They didn't call it. They let it fly. He missed the game winner. They lost the game, and you got everybody on ESPN talking about the refs are bad. They miss calls. You know, that was just the other day. I mean, I'm saying we see these players today play through it, and then Tyrese Maxey didn't even jump and cry to the ref. He just walked off like it was just something typical. Like, okay, he hit me in the arm. Fair game. I got the shot off I missed. He didn't even come cry and complain.
And when it happened to LeBron against Boston a couple of years ago, where they still show the footage off, they say LeBron was crying. When it was clear footage, LeBron James was raked across his arm going to the basket, and nobody called the foul. Against the Denver Nuggets, when they got swept, and he was playing Game 4, LeBron was going to the basket. He was raked across the arm by Jamal Murray. They didn't call the foul. They call less fouls in today's NBA, and they still play physical because you cannot play today's NBA without being physical. I'm playing physical on a guy 30, 40 feet from the rim.
What surprises me
go ahead, Lamont, because I need you to talk for that because they don't listen to me.
Especially that's why I wish you left Frank up here because I think they start talking about fouls because they start running out of stuff to talk about.
Thank you, Lamont. Damn.
But hold on, Frank. Check this out, though, Frank. Frank.
It's his channel, by the way.
Frank. Hold on, Frank.
Thank
You know the 90s from 1990 to 99? Those were the most fouls called, cumulative, and fouls per game called in NBA history. The 90s had the most fouls per game in NBA history. They called more fouls than ever. And it's just funny now that when you just watch the era of basketball where the game was slowed down to a bore because of the refs and because of the illegal defense. And then when you see this era, you say it's soft because of the fouls. But you just watch the era where fouls literally controlled the pace of the game. They called them so much in the 90s.
Well,
that's
I never watched that era because I wasn't born until 97. As I was telling Johnny as he puts up a picture going like this, that's fine. Because Johnny's goal, right? It's fine. I grew up watching Bron. That was the era that I grew up watching, right? So I'm just saying that I think that we're going through a phase right now where something's got to give or change. There's too many threes being shot. I'm not the only person saying this. There's a lot of people saying
No, but that's not what's happening, though, Frank.
So then what's happening then? If you
Okay, so Frank, this is what happens. So when you play the game of basketball, I'm a coach. I promise you.
Basketball too.
Check this out. No, I coach. I've played, but I coach right now. I promise you. If players could take layups on every possession, I promise you that they could. But what happens is when you see teams that are taking a lot of threes, what nobody ever asks themselves is, what is that defense doing that's forcing them into taking these threes? Because what dictates your shot in basketball? The shot clock. So as the shot clock starts to tick down, that's an extra defender on the floor. And if the defense is doing a good job of clogging up the lanes, taking away driving lanes, and you're kind of left to settle, like guys drive and have to kick it out, if you're left to settle with the three, that's because of the shot clock. And so why do you guys, instead of complaining about all the threes being taken, why don't you applaud the defense that's congesting the lanes, forcing these guys to kick it out, making them take tough shots on the perimeter? But nobody's going to give the defense any credit. Y'all act like these guys are just walking down the court saying, look, I'm going to bypass this wide open layup. Let me just take this three. We're just going to take threes. But that's not what's happening. And you'll take the one or two instances where you see a guy take a bad three and use that to make it seem like this is what's happening across the league when it's not.
Okay. Were more threes being shot in the 90s or now, Lamont?
There's more threes being shot now.
Now, right?
Well, why? But why?
That's exactly.
Why? You have better three-point shooters? One, you have better three-point shooters, and two, you have better defenses clogging up lanes because you don't have an illegal defense rule.
Yes, fair point. There's more skill, as Johnny.
And better defenses.
There's more skill.
And better defenses.
100%. Yes. Players today are more skilled, and players have better shot, and players today can shoot better now, right?
No, yes. The defense is clogging up lanes.
Your first point, though, is the shot clock, right? I don't know.
No, the defense creates the shot clock issues. So when you play good defense, the shot clock comes into play.
The shot clock has been around for how many years, Lamont?
But the shot clock hasn't always been around when you've been playing in the league, when the defense isn't handicapped with illegal defense rules. This is the most unrestricted defense that we've seen in NBA history, because in the 80s and the 90s, we saw defenses that were handicapped because of the illegal defense. When they removed the illegal defense in the 2000s, we saw teams struggling to adjust because now with teams clogging up the paint, they now have to be able to shoot the three. And so we saw a stretch of time in the league where teams were trying to adapt to being able to shoot threes because they didn't have a ton of three-point shooters. And the only team that did have the three-point shooters was the Phoenix Suns, and that's because the GM of the team was on the rules committee and he knew what was coming before it was happening. So he set his team up to shoot threes before anybody else did. That's why the Suns look godly on offense while everybody else looks sluggish.
So I'm listening as much as possible, but then why do you think the ratings are down so much then?
I don't think the ratings are down. I think people that say the ratings are down are just people looking to. I think people who say the ratings
down compared to previous years.
No, hold on. No, they're not. Because what y'all doing is y'all comparing ratings during COVID when ratings were at an all-time high because nobody had anything to do but sit in the house and watch TV. And then you're comparing it to now where you turn games on, like I say, everybody and their mama watched LeBron play the other night.
Lamont. They had the commissioner on the NBA Finals, Game 7, explain why the league had low ratings in the 90s.
Halftime in Houston, Game 7. Rockets lead the Knicks by 2, 45-43. Joined live now by NBA Commissioner David Stern. David, taking nothing away from the excitement throughout this series and the feeling in this building and the great determination and the achievements of these two teams, the ratings for the finals are down. And many people feel that if this style of play becomes dominant in the NBA, the league will lose some of the elements that led to its popularity. Do you share that concern?
No, I think there's an ebb and flow, Bob. A decade ago, people were saying that we had to change the rules because there was too much scoring, no one played defense, we should have the zone come in. Now there's just a lot of defense being played. We will be looking into maybe tightening up some of the calls, but Charles Oakley doesn't have to apologize for not being Michael Jordan. He's out there hustling and he's an all-star, and that's a lovely kind of play in its own way, watching players hustle the way these two teams are.
The NBA didn't have a viewership issue in the 90s. They didn't have a viewership issue in today because people who like basketball watch it. People like Frank don't like basketball, so they don't watch it.
You
Stop watching it, Frank. Yeah, you don't watch it. You don't watch it. 80% of GOAT James Kingdom fans has said all five. All of our fans who are here are basketball fans, and 80% of GOAT James Kingdom fans said they enjoyed every game that happened on Christmas because they like basketball. You sat here and you still telling us some lies because you want to believe when you were watching basketball at 12 years old was the greatest time. You were 12. Get the fuck out of here. Lowe's back in the building. What up, Lowe?
Oh, now the mic is now on.
Yeah, because you don't overtalk me. You shut the fuck up when I'm talking. If you don't like it, you can go to somebody else's program.
Johnny?
We know what happens? Bye-bye, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Only thing I had to ask is when people sit here and say that the ratings are down, when people sit here and compare the ratings, they are comparing it to the highest the ratings have been post the MJ era when they compare it to 2012. Those are the highest the ratings have been. So when y'all be comparing it to like, oh, well, the ratings are down 50% or 48%, whatever the number is from 2012, the ratings were also down 48% or around 48% in 2003 as well. But it's not sexy enough to say, well, the ratings now are fairly similar to where they were in 2003 and 2004. Nobody's not going to say that because that doesn't sound right. It doesn't allow people to get off that nostalgia. So when y'all be getting off this nostalgia of like, oh, well, back in my day in 2003 and 04 and 05, basketball was great. Yeah, basketball, the ratings were very similar back then to where we are now. And cable cutting across the board is at an all-time high now. People are cutting the cable cord. So y'all are comparing every single year is down in contrast to 2012. That's not including the 90s. Every single year.
And Low, in 2005, the guy who's sitting here arguing with me and wants me to bring it back up just to argue with me, just for the sake of arguing, which is not why I have a content for. I actually, like I said, content to create real shit, was 7 years old in 2005. What the fuck did he see? What was great for him?
Nostalgia. It's
okay,
literally just nostalgia.
Let me ask you another question. You're a guy who likes music. In 2003, when Napster was around, did 50 Cent drop a horrible album because we were able to go on Napster and get his album instead of going to the store and purchasing it?
No, it wasn't horrible. No, I feel like a lot of y'all just like caught up in y'all are caught up in nostalgia. But if y'all are going to use ratings to be the reason why something tracks is like some reason to why the game is good or bad, then you would then have to explain why the ratings dipped immediately when Michael Jordan left both times, and then y'all have to then explain why the ratings now are fairly similar to where they were back in 2003. Y'all would have to then explain those things.
No, they can't explain those things because, again, the problem with basketball fans and basketball people who talk it is that they actually feel entitled. they believe their opinions, their feelings matter, Lo. They really believe that, and they get into a circle of guys who talk feelings and talk about how oh man, I just love the game and I just want to. He sat here and dissed Ishmael, said Ishmael must not watch the game when Ishmael was legitimately at a game on Christmas Day, right? And Ishmael was watching the in-season tournament. This is the same guy that sat here and told us that Giannis and SGA should be on Christmas Day games, showing up because they're the biggest stars and they're going to attract the most viewers. Then I asked this man, did he watch them play in the in-season tournament? His response was, I think the in-season tournament's a piece of crap. Let's let Herm in the building. Shout out to Herm, man. Hollywood Herm is here. Big time support, Goat James Kingdom supporter. Do you hear these dudes, man? You said you wanted to go on Zesty Jeffries. We had one on. At first, I thought Frank was being smart and being taught lessons, but obviously we can see he just can't help himself. He has nothing better to do in his life. He should go find a girlfriend on a Friday night instead of being on Friday Night Exposure. But what up, Hollywood?
Man, salute to y'all. Salute to you, and Johnny. Salute to FIF, capping ass. Salute to Ishmael, man. Salute to Low, man. But for real though, man. When it comes down to it, it's always been a dead period to where a lot of people feel like basketball is at a dead spot and throughout the history of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it always been a proportion that to where that the NBA is trying to regroup themselves or trying to find a new face of the league. I think that's the issue for what the NBA has going on right now. They're trying to find a new face of the league. They like when Low point at 2003, they still was trying to find a new face of the league. So you gonna have down periods to where the NBA is trying to find this groove, trying to find where they go gear up to. So that's the transition that they on right now. Because at the end of the day, they are transitioning from the LeBron James era. For us him being the face, they are transitioning from Curry. So it's gonna be a little period to where they find that the NBA trying to find itself again. But within that, they will. At the end of the day, you got.
I don't think so, Herm. I don't think we'll ever have another true face of the league.
I think we will. I think
and the only reason is not because there isn't a player worthy of it. The media and the fans just won't allow it to happen, right? Because what happens is these players aren't allowed to grow into greatness, right? There's an expectation of these guys to start their careers and be clutch right out the gate, right? But you can't have growing pains. And so what ends up happening, you're talking about a guy in Luka Doncic who his first couple years in the league, he's on a trajectory to literally be top 10 in NBA history. But he can't be great because even at this early age, people saying he chokes in the league or he ain't this or he ain't that. They tear these guys down before they can even get the label of greatness, right? And so this is the same thing's happening with Jason Tatum, right? He can't be great because what are people saying? Oh, he choked, he missed a shot. Oh, he let Jaylen Brown outscore him. So they always running with these funny narratives. This is why we won't ever get another face. And we won't ever get another face until these old heads, these stragglers from the 90s start to dissipate. And then the new youth coming in start to get away from some of these these unfair biases and logic that they use. And these comparisons, they have to look like Jordan. Like, they didn't even let Ant-Man be great. When Ant-Man had his run and there were comparisons that his game looked similar to Jordan, they didn't even let that go.
I was just going to say the same thing. They ate him alive.
They killed Ant-Man for that. They didn't ride with it and be like, yeah, he's great. They said, no, he's not. He can't be Jordan. He can't be this. They just literally tore it down as much as possible. So whenever a player gets the opportunity, these old 90s fans just get to tearing it down, and they don't never give nothing. Jokic wins all these MVPs.
Away from it, though.
Every time Jokic win these MVPs, these got to be fake MVPs. That's the media giving it to them. They just tear everything down. That's just how these 90s fans are. You're literally going to have to wait for them to die.
No, but Lamar, I think they actually getting away from it because if you look at the average age of a fan now, it's 36 years old. So most of those that age range grew up with LeBron James. So I think it's gearing towards that now. I think they're pushing the older cats out the way now. Some of them still speaking out. You got a lot of the older former players just running their mouths now. But outside of that though, I think the fan base more gravitated towards
Uh-huh.
LeBron and his era though.
When it was Jordan's turn, when Jordan stepped into the league in the '80s, even though the team was getting barbecued, you had players and media around the league saying that's the best player in the league. This is the best thing we've seen. Jordan's team was getting cooked on night in and night out basis, but players and media were all rallying around him. This is the best player we've ever seen. They set the foundation for Jordan to be considered to go because they didn't spend their first couple years. They could have literally, if they would have spent from 84 to 90 tearing Jordan down, calling him not clutch, a choker, he ain't the GOAT. But they applauded him early. They let him go through growing pains. And then he started winning. He's the GOAT. They labeled him the GOAT. No player today is getting that. They have to win championships. They first year. They have to make every clutch shot. They can't lose a game. They can't lose a final. They got to literally have perfect careers to be considered the face of the league. It's these old heads with these weird standards, man, that's just tearing it up. They the ones really screwing this whole game up. But
I read somewhere on the data. I know it's kind of different change of discussion, but I read somewhere like there's data saying that only like long twos, like the longer mid-range shots, have been replaced by threes, but the short mid-range remain the same, even from 20 years ago. So it's like, I guess people are really just complaining about there's no longer any long twos. So I don't know. And then like shots in the paint are pretty much have increased as well. So
but first of all, the mid-range shot is the worst shot in today's game because it's the most easiest to contest. Right? You're not applying no pressure on defenses.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to contest. It's easy to load up on you. The most deadly thing in basketball are the guys that can get to the rim and punish you at the rim, or the guys that can shoot the three and space the whole defense out. The mid-range is the easiest thing to defend. The back to the basket post up, easy to defend. So why I don't know why these 90s fans always talk about mid-range shots when unless you a mid-range master and you can make shots over the most tough, most contested shots, then it don't make no sense to keep shooting it. Why do you want to go take the toughest shot, the lowest percentage shot you can? Why do that? Just
because
for 2
Jordan
points.
did
You could
that.
just be like
Jordan did that. That's how Jordan played. That's how Kobe did it. They got killer instincts. They got the assassin in them. Like I said, they don't know basketball, Lamont. They don't know basketball. The reason Jason Tatum, who's on the Boston Celtics, the most historic franchise in NBA, who probably have the biggest fan base outside of the Los Angeles Lakers, is not being praised for what he's been doing is because it doesn't fall in line with the Zesty Jeffrey GOAT debate. They can't tailor this to say why the LeBron sucks. Because if you praise Jason Tatum, you're going to basically say that the era is good. They don't praise the era, even though Stephen Curry's the reason why the era is, but they praise Stephen Curry. Because Stephen Curry is easy to say why LeBron sucks. LeBron couldn't beat Curry. They praise Joker because LeBron couldn't beat Joker. You see what I'm trying to say? They find narratives that help them keep Jordan's legacy up high, and they don't care about nothing else. So that's why Jason Tatum can't get the love that he's supposed to get, because they can't attach a GOAT narrative that will make Michael Jordan, because he doesn't play like Mike. He doesn't play like Kobe. You see what I'm trying to say? These are the things that they don't attach. They want. That's why they like the Ant-Man, not knowing Ant-Man can't shoot from mid-range. Ant-Man's not a good shooter. He just started getting good the last year or two. He was not that good for the 4 years of his career. But they don't know this because all they saw was the games that he was playing in the playoffs last year, because the casuals only watch the game after Christmas Day and only the prime games. They don't watch the games. They're not the type of guy that's just going to, the Indiana Pacers are playing against the Raptors. I watch this game because my team's not playing. So like tonight, my team's not playing. I'm not watching the Knicks, but I would have watched one of these games. You see what I'm trying to say? But they're not real fans of basketball. They are not invested in either a player or a team, because Kobe's not in the league, nor Michael Jordan, and they were never Bulls fans, and they're truly not Laker fans. So they're the casuals. That's why Frank got upset, because we have allowed casuals to dictate how we talk the game of basketball, and that shit stops on GOAT James Kingdom. If you're not a real basketball fan, you can't talk the game. I'll expose you every time, including guys that are on Player's Choice, including the guys that are on any other platform, even on Lamont's channel. Lamont, you lucky I wasn't there on Christmas Day. You lucky I was busy being a real fan and not showing up on your FYF gossiping about basketball. Let me bring up Mingo Jester because Mingo Jester always got something good to say. Shout out to Mingo Jester. Yes, I did expose you, Frank. You're a casual. That's what got you so upset. That's what you got so in your feelings because you started talking like a casual and you still think like a casual. You're asking for a basketball product that you've never seen in your life. So why would I even listen to you? That's why you got exposed. That's what I do best. That's what I do every Friday night. I expose Zesty Jeffries and basketball casuals who sit here and tell us lies. I gave you David Stern telling you the ratings were low in the 90s, and you still want to argue about the 90s basketball.
I mean, I know that Mingo just supposed to say something, but I remember I used to be like, even basketball players that I know didn't really like watching the NBA in the 2000s, in the early 2010s like that. They prefer college basketball because
I don't know that, bro. You guys are crazy.
I know that. What I'm saying is like they prefer watching college basketball because it wasn't stagnant. It was like a ton of ball movement. It was like a lot of motion offense. Like guys, it was more actions. What I see, like it was more team orientated. Like today it seems more team orientated. It's not as much as ISO from what I could be wrong, but it just seems like more team orientated, more ball movement. It's just like more 3-point shooting. And that's why I would say it's more entertaining from that aspect.
No, that's not what it was.
It's more skill. We don't have to sit here and no. Listen, we don't have to sit here and say our best way of scoring as a team is by going to Patrick Ewing. Now we can find other ways to score. That's the point.
I could be wrong about that.
No, Ishmael, you're going the right direction with it. What I'm saying is, a casual's biggest nightmare is great defense. And so, in an era that was arguably the best defensive era of all time, that was their nightmare. That's what they didn't know how to comprehend and see. That's why the viewership went down. And so they went away because real defense was getting played. But they'll pretend and tell us that the 90s was great defense when that was a fake defensive era. It wasn't a great defensive era. The best defensive era of all time, all casuals running away. And viewership really declined. That was a time when there was really a dip. But outside of that, man, the NBA is always going to be the NBA. I say follow the money. And when the money starts to decline, then come talk to me. But when the money is at an all-time high, I'm not trying to hear none of these fake arguments about ratings going down because the money is at an all-time high and it's still going up.
Facts. All facts. Shout out to Mingo Jester. What's good, brother? Thank you for joining the Friday Night Exposure. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the whole show, but we talking the NBA and the product that it is and how it's still the best NBA today. And I just exposed the greatest era ever, which supposedly is the 90s.
Nah, the greatest era ever is the 2000s, actually. And yeah, that's actually the greatest era ever, the 2000s. The 90s was good. I mean, I enjoyed a little bit of the 90s. The 90s was okay, but the 2000s to me was peak basketball. That was when all the talent and that's when the defenses and all the good teams like the Spurs and the Mavericks. Then you had Detroit, you had the Lakers, you had the Kings, you had teams like the Suns, and then you had LeBron James coming in with Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade. They were rookies, then they was coming into their own. Like, bro, that was peak basketball right there. Kevin Garnett. Then you had Dirk Nowitzki. Bro, that was peak basketball right there. When you want to talk about talent and everything, AI, everything combined, that was the best era to me. And that's just my opinion. I know everybody ain't gonna agree with me, but that's just the best era in my opinion.
When did it peak, Mingo? What year did it peak?
I don't. To me, I think it peaked like around like 2012, 2013 when LeBron really became LeBron and he really was just tearing the league up and nobody really couldn't mess with him right around that time. Nobody really went like around that 2011, 2012, 2013. Around that time, man, LeBron it was just LeBron. It literally was just LeBron, in my opinion. I gotta keep saying that because everybody ain't gonna agree with me. So in my opinion, it was just LeBron because he was tearing the league up. Nobody wasn't seeing him around that time. I know people don't like him. I know people hate on him and all that other stuff, but nobody wasn't seeing him around that time.
You see that, Frankie? He said that's his opinion. That's how he feels. That's fine. You're allowed to speak when you say that. When you try to make it seem like you know basketball and you try to disrespect Ishmael because Ishmael was at a game and you was never at a game, you don't even watch the game. You have the nerve to talk nonsense. Now I got you, Mingo Jester, but you know Mingo Jester that the 2000s is on its way, bro. After we get by the time we get to 2028, 2029, we're gonna start looking back at the 2000s and like,
we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
But also now, when you refer to Lamont other
2000s now. Don't talk about
when you refer to Lamont other screen when he was talking about why you think the ratings dropped in the NBA, when Lamont was talking about the media, like that was Lamont premise on why the NBA had dipped, why the ratings dropped because the media, like the hometown media, how they talk about the game and how they uplift the game back when they was playing. Now I do kind of agree with some of that what Lamont was saying, because that is true. I do agree with some of that what he was saying, but I don't think that's all of it though.
No, but
I don't think
this is where Lamont missed it at, right? Because see, somebody on his show showed up and said something real silly. Because Lamont did make a great point. The local media does tell you about your team. So as an example, I'm a Heat guy. I open up the Sun Sentinel or I open up the Miami Herald. I'm listening to either Greg Cody or back then it would be like Dan Lebertard. I forgot who used to cover the Heat back then. But obviously they have a beat writer. We always told you every city has a beat writer. Every newspaper has a beat writer that covers the actual team. So you would get the article. You would get to talk about your team. Now the difference was the access of the newspaper, right? It was just like back in the days. We only needed one person to buy an album. Then we would all dub the album off the one person who bought the album. It was the same thing with a newspaper. We just needed one person to go buy a 35-cent newspaper, 50-cent newspaper, and that newspaper, whether you was at work or school. I remember in high school, in the lunchroom, we used to pass the sports paper around and all of us would take our turn reading it. So the access to the newspaper was easier back then. The guy, Mr. Michael Jordan Fans Are the Worst page, was talking about how he used to keep up with the Philly Inquirer because he used to have access to it, but he moved to Hawaii. Well, guess what? You still have access to it, even if you're in Hawaii. All of those platforms are all acceptable. They just don't have actual papers. You can actually subscribe and get every day the newspaper the same way from your local newspaper, just like you did back in the days, but you just have to subscribe to the channel. So if he really wanted to keep up with his Philadelphia 76ers all the way in Hawaii, he can. But he's not a real basketball fan. That's why the NBA doesn't have a viewership issue, because they have more fans today who have access to their games than ever. I just showed you a clip of David Stern saying over 100 countries in '94 were watching the finals. How many countries today are watching today's NBA tonight? How many countries had access to watch all 8 games that happened tonight? Well over 200.
But wait, Johnny. Now. I was watching Gil's Arena the other day, and Gil was talking about how the NBA, you can watch the NBA, but you have to get cable to watch certain games, like I guess your home games, like your home team games, like the teams you root for. Then you have to get League Pass to watch the stuff on League Pass.
I know that's what he said, but let's be honest. You really think Gilbert Arenas don't got cable and can't watch the Lakers game because he live in LA? That's what I'm saying. So again, if you more than likely you have cable than the league. Hold on, wait. Mingo Jester, more than likely you have cable than the league pass. Unless you're a basketball fan, you're gonna have the league pass. But living in your city alone, more than likely you're gonna have some form of regional coverage. That's all they're telling you. To watch your team, you got to go to your regional people who we gave the rights to show the game to, because that's how you watch the game anyways. Like,
and I get that, but what I'm saying
but hey, Johnny, that changed a little bit. That did change a little bit.
But what I was saying was,
I can't watch the Heat. I can't watch the Heat unless I have cable. The way I watch the Heat is either I sign up to, and this is another thing too. Y'all complaining. What's it called? Fox Sports Network. NBC Sports Network, where they show the Laker games and the West Coast games. Now it's FanDuel Sports Network. It used to be Bally Sports. It used to be that. Yeah. If I subscribe to FanDuel Network Sports, I can watch Heat games no problem. No issues, no problem at all. But if I want to watch other teams in the NBA, because I'm an NBA fan, if I want to watch Anthony Edwards play, if I want to watch Wemby play, if I want to watch the Lakers play, I got to get the league pass, because there's no way to watch them play unless they're playing on national television. So the league gives you access to watch games no matter what. You have access.
I get that. But you got to understand something. You're the one that was saying that. Everybody don't have the means. Everybody don't have the means like Gil do. Gil is Gil. Everybody don't have those means. So if you say, for instance, you want to watch an NBA game and you don't have the means to get League Pass or some of these other like Fubo or not Fubo, Fubo.
It's not even about you got a means. You want to pay 4-5 different subscriptions to watch different games.
Let me ask you a question. What city you from?
Some people don't have the means to get all that.
What region you from?
So how they gonna watch the game?
Okay, Mingo Jester, what region you from? Where you from?
I'm from the East. I'm the East Coast.
So you're on the East Coast. What's your home team?
Do you have
Atlanta Hawks? I guess you would say.
Okay, all right. So Atlanta's not playing tonight. So as an example, since you don't have the league pass, right? Let's just say you did have cable, right? You would be able to watch Atlanta Hawks tonight if you had cable, because obviously there's a regional channel where the game would be available to you. But as a basketball fan, if you really want to watch the game tonight, you could have watched every game that was on TV today. And in fact, the Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers game was on NBA TV. So you can have that without your regional channel. If you have NBA TV, because most people have the sports package, and either way, you could still watch basketball. You could have watched the Boston Celtics versus the Pacers tonight, and if you had the league pass, you could have watched any other game. In fact, the Clippers and the Warriors are on right now on
Johnny,
NBA
what changed
TV.
the game? What's changing the game though is these streaming services like Hulu, Sling TV. So what's happening is
NFL.
What's happening is. Local networks like CBS, they're not allowing these streaming services to play local news. So the thing is, like, for example, I use Sling TV, but with Sling TV, I can't watch any local news channels, and the local news channels are the ones that play your local games. And so more people are switching over to like the Hulus and the Sling TVs, because they are beating out cable by a long shot, because now cable's become so expensive. Cable with internet is like a
YouTube TV though. But I didn't know that Sling TV and Hulu TV doesn't allow you to get local. I didn't know that.
No,
but YouTube TV allows you to have local regional channels.
No, YouTube, but there are some like Fubo, and there are some that are different. But like I say, a lot of people like Hulu, because they can also watch their other shows. Right, so a lot of people with some of these apps, they get them. Like with Hulu, there's like specific shows that people buy these subscriptions for, because I know I can watch this specific show and I can have all these other channels. And so what's happening is people are signing up for these streaming services. They get all the cable channels that cable would offer, but they miss out on the local channels, so they can't. So, but a lot of people are switching over, because cable now with Wi-Fi and cable together. In most places, you're looking at paying close to $300 a month just for cable and Wi-Fi combined, and that's like a car payment.
But you also got apps like Peacock, for example. Like you can watch.
But Peacock is owned by NBC. That's what I'm saying. Peacock is NBC. Just like ABC has Hulu. Every network, like he's saying, all those national broadcast networks are all creating their own streaming services. Just like HBO did, Cinemax did.
And they're blocking out the other services.
Yeah, and they're and that's why like he said that, but that's why cable television is kind of dead, because it's so expensive to have. Mind you, that's just to have basic cable. If you decided to get the premium channels like HBO and Cinemax and Showtime, and then they do charge you for regional channels too. They charge you a fee for regional channels. They charge you a fee for sports channels. So it's not simple. Exactly. ABC has Hulu. Just a perfect example. I watched the games on Disney Plus on Christmas Day. I watched all the games on Disney Plus.
You watched the cartoon games?
I watched the cartoon game as well.
I liked it.
I liked it too. It was actually fun to watch it that way. But the thing is that you no longer have to go to ABC and NBC and CBS to watch the games. You have access to the games everywhere else. So the idea that nobody's watching it is false. It's just that we don't know where you're watching it. Now, supposedly, me watching it on Disney Plus was a part of the supposed like 7.7 average people that were watching the game. So it looks like ABC gave us all of the views. Whoever was watching it on Hulu, whoever was watching on ESPN Plus, whoever was watching it on Disney Plus, whoever was watching on ESPN or ABC, they counted all those viewers. You see what I'm trying to say? But they don't. But the Netflix, right? The Netflix had the football game on Christmas Day. That wasn't on national television, right? So we don't know how many people. Just like Thursday night games. Thursday night games, nobody tells us anything what goes on Thursday night. Why? Because it's on Prime. Unless you're on Prime.
I got Prime though.
That's what I'm saying. Unless you Prime has 100, 200 million subscribers to Prime. So there's a bunch of people who can watch the games, but we don't get the streaming. We don't know exactly how many people are watching Thursday night games.
Oh no, so the NFL for Netflix Christmas Day, they pulled in 24 million each game.
Of course, because again, the casuals. Remember, a lot of those guys' football teams are over with. Your Bears suck.
First of all, not a Bears fan. That's crazy, but that's crazy.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everybody in Chicago is watching. Exactly. The Niners. We out of it too. So I start watching basketball as well. That's what I'm saying. The Falcons are out of it. The Falcons are out of it. So there's nothing to do there. The Arizona Cardinals are out of it.
Wait, whoa. That's a lie. Whoa. Falcons are not out of it.
The Falcons are still in it. The Falcons are still in it.
They're still in it. No, they're not out of it. They're not out of it. Wait a minute.
And football is still the same. If you got YouTube TV and you bought the football package, your regional games are not available for you on the football package. Those are facts.
Hey, also, hold on, wait, Johnny.
Hey man, hey, listen. Bottom line is, instead of getting all these apps, just get your Fire Stick and call it a day. Just get your Fire Stick and call it a day.
I got all that. But since
just get your Fire Stick and call it a day.
I got a kind of formula that could fix the NBA problem with the ratings. I want to hear it. I'm not going to argue the streaming service part because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Money involved, you can't change that. People going to do the streaming service thing. Mm-hmm. It's the attack, the data points and the narrative points. And I think that the formula will fix the NBA. So here will be the first one I'm going to say, going to always have y'all go crazy, but let me get to the end of it, y'all go crazy. All right, the first
put you on the big screen. Go ahead.
The first thing they need to do is move the three-point line back. Move the three-point line back. Now listen to me. It's not to the point because I get the point of threes and I learned my order with the defense. The whole point is the data analytics telling people the best shots you can take is a layup at the rim or a three-point shot because you get more. But if you move the three-point line back, they can't argue the data narrative of saying that because certain players can't be shooting as far back as they do. Also, number two, you need to penalize the refs just as much as you penalize the players because you take away from the aggressive and the competitiveness. I literally seen during this year somebody got a tech yelling at the ref to get a spill off the floor. I think the refs are getting a little bit too controlling of the game. I get it. We had a Malice in the Palace a long time ago, but the refs is too controlling over the game.
I did see that though. Malice in the Palace was insane.
The problem that we also have where everybody is lost from the point of like, I can't watch this game because back in those whatever days they talk about the glory days, we had team fandom and we get team rivalries back. People are more fan of players than they are teams. The league needs to find a better way to get people fans of teams because guess what? If I'm a Joel Embiid fan, right, and I'm only going to watch when Joel Embiid plays, that means I'm only watching half the season because he played half the season. But if I'm a 76er fan, I'm going to watch every game that plays. The NBA needs to find a formula, a better way to promote the teams and get people more inactive of the teams. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. No matter who on the team, I'm going to watch the Bulls. I see the starting five with Cameron Payne as my point guard and like Paul Zipser, which I don't know who Paul Zipser is, play. And I would still watch them play because I'm a Bulls fan. So we got to get back to that point, and we also got to bring – the NBA needs to start better scheduling, which the NFL did, putting more rivalry games and more important games during it at the end of the season at certain parts of the season. Also, we need to end the championship or bust legacy debate thing because at the end of the day, what started player mobility, which y'all had a problem with, is because y'all told them if you don't win a championship, you can't be labeled one of the great players. And when you do that, now you got guys like a James Harden who making a sacrifice, but he was still one of the greatest shooting guards of all time. So he left Houston, go. Now he become a journeyman where he was just labeled one of the greatest shooting guards, but we can't appreciate what the work that he done. So we need to start appreciate that. And we also need the too much help, not enough help thing, because at the end of the day, for the logic that y'all go by will make a star and what makes the face of a league. Why is not Jason Tatum not the face of the league? Because y'all care about winning. Jason Tatum says his rookie year has been competing for championships, but now you don't want to give this guy credit because you say he has too much help. And the guy that y'all praise a lot, like a LeBron James, like a Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen next to him, who was a first-time all-defender guy and a first-team all-guy. How the hell that's not too much help? We need to end that because you're not actually appreciating what you're watching. And also, the NBA needs to build and protect new stars because at the end of the day, we should not be Let me finish my statement before you go crazy, guy. At the end of the day, let me finish my statement. At the end of the day, the NBA needs to build and protect new stars. No way a 40-year-old LeBron James and a 36-year-old Steph Curry got to pull the most views. You should be already pushing and building out. I seen a guy like a Jamal Crawford drop 50 on his last couple games, but the league told him, look, Jamal, we know you still got it, but we got to push these younger stars. The league got to build and protect their stars. And if they do those things, if they do all those things, the league will be in a good place, because at the end of the day, the NFL is coming for Christmas Day, right? You see, this is a start. The reason why the Christmas game was iffy because of the scheduling and people played close games. Like they was like 4 games. They played like Saturday, then play Wednesday. The NFL gonna fix out their scheduling, right? Hold on, wait, look at Johnny. I ain't worried about I see the video about I know he crazy.
I know, bro. Listen, do your thing, SB, brother. You know I got full control of this. You know I got control of this. Go ahead, brother.
So Johnny, listen, look, right? You got LeBron leaving. You got LeBron leaving in 1 year, right? You got Steph Curry and KD probably leaving the next 3 or 4 years. NFL is gonna play on Christmas. The NFL gonna figure out they're gonna get the 2 best quarterbacks, 2 best teams playing on Christmas. How can you fight that now? No LeBron, no Steph, no KD. Where do you think everybody gonna go? We're gonna bring
Giannis and SGA, like Frank said.
That's not
Make sure they play on Christmas.
But wait though, you gotta understand something though, SB. You gotta understand something though. All that what you're saying, I actually kind of agree with a lot of the stuff that you were saying. But this is the thing between the NFL and the NBA though. The NBA has way less games than the NBA. They only play like 18 weeks. So the NFL gonna always be more popular because it's less than the NBA. The NBA have 82 games plus the playoffs. Most people don't even watch the regular season because it's so long. They look at some games here and there, and then they'll skip a lot of the season. Then they'll look at, they'll come back towards the end to see what the season is and who's gonna go where and who's gonna play who and all that. Who's gonna be the matchup?
People are fans of players too. So guess what? If your player don't play, I'm not watching.
That's a fact. But at the same time, though, with the NFL, when you only got 18 games plus the playoffs, everybody gonna tune in to every game because most people love their team and they like Cowboys fans and they diehard Cowboys fans. Their
team.
They're gonna go crazy.
Listen, this is why the NBA has a problem. It's the way it's marketed by the people who actually pay the rights to actually show you the game. Let's go ahead and show you. Now, mind you, before 1994, Patrick Ewing and both Hakeem Olajuwon had been utter failures. They'd never really gotten far. Hakeem Olajuwon lost in the playoff first time like 8 times in his career. Patrick Ewing choked so many times they would letting Reggie Miller and the Pippen Bulls take him game 7s. So these guys were not those guys. But watch how NBC was telling us about these guys. Let's watch the intro to the game to the NBA Finals in 1994.
For 3 memorable years, red and black were the colors of royalty in the NBA. But that dynasty is now history. Soon, a new champion will reign. This symbol of supremacy rides on the outcome. The 2 teams intent on seizing the prize have different styles and personnel, but they share something essential. The New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets are passion personified.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen. Passion personified.
That's pure 90s.
Right.
Pure.
Listen, that's drama. That's storyline. That's narrative based. That's what Zesty Jeffries loved. That's what they were raised off of. Now imagine being the 10-year-old child sitting here watching this in 1994. Right? Being a 6-year-old child watching this in 1994. Or even being 13 years old like I was watching this in 1994. Who am I to argue passionate personified?
Johnny, how old was you in 1994?
13.
Damn.
Exactly. Let's go. So let's continue now, because now they're going to start talking about the players. Remember, y'all talking about stars, right? Remember, Michael Jordan's gone. Magic is gone. Bird is gone. Who are going to be the stars? Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon. They're the ones in the finals. Like you said, Jason Tatum. Why are we not talking about Jason Tatum like they're talking about Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon? High draft pick, major failures, just like Jason Tatum was before last year. Let's watch how they talk about these guys.
Through good times and bad, Patrick Ewing has been the man in New York. For 9 years, his ability and desire have never diminished. All-star, dream teamer, but still, one precious credential is missing, and he has learned these opportunities are rare. Hakeem Olajuwon's play this year has exhausted all superlatives. Still, the league's MVP knows his individual success was a direct result of team unity. A unity they must depend on to defeat a Ewing-led team, something Hakeem was unable to do once before. 10 years ago, Ewing and Olajuwon met in the NCAA championship game. Hakeem outscored Patrick 15-10 that night. But when the final score was tallied, Ewing and Georgetown had fulfilled their dream. A decade later, the circumstances are different, but each is again on the verge of a championship. The question, whose team will have the skill and not incidentally the heart to ascend to the vacant NBA throne? It begins tonight with this trophy and all it represents at stake.
So as you can see, Patrick Ewing played 9 years. This guy played 10 years in the league, Hakeem Olajuwon, and stood and didn't reach the pinnacle of winning a championship. Like Lamont said, they were allowed to grow into that. No one was calling them chokers. You hear it. This is passion personified. Like he said, his desire and will didn't stop for 9 years. We can't even give Jason Tatum his props. He won in his 7th NBA season? And he's been to the finals already before. You see what I'm trying to say? So, like, that's the difference. The difference is that we got Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley talking the game of basketball, and they're the ones who telling us the game is soft. The game is not what it was. When they're lying, when we go back and look at the footage, and I'm watching Kenny Smith only play 700 games. Kenny Smith, you have no durability, no longevity, no nothing. Shut the fuck up. Like, just tell us how the game is supposed to be played and keep it moving. And I'm starting to think those guys are no longer eligible to tell us how the game is played because they can't appreciate today's NBA. They don't understand why somebody's taking a 35-foot jumper. They don't understand that shit. That shit blows their mind. They don't understand why somebody would rather take a 25-foot three-pointer open than try to take on a contested player 3 feet at the rim. They don't understand that. They can't talk the game of basketball, so they got to make it seem like it's bad because now it makes them sound smart. Mm-hmm. And then they're just not smart. They don't know the game, bro. They watch Mike and Kobe for too long, and they think that's good basketball. That's just horrible basketball. What we're seeing right now is team basketball, and we're seeing great basketball again. That's why that's why the parity is up. That's why the NBA can expand, and we'll be fine. No problems. But let's let a crazy come in because I'm my crazies in the building. Number 38 got a lot to say. What you got for me, bro? Are you eating? You snacking? You need to snack because I done gave you a whole meal tonight. Fed y'all well with good information.
You gotta unmute yourself, bro.
Now I muted him. Go ahead because he was talking crazy.
I just got here, fam. I don't even know what y'all fucking talking about. I just got here, fam.
You was ready to go crazy on me. You ain't even listen.
I was ready to go crazy on you because you was born as fuck. You born as hell. You born as hell, fam. They didn't see you, Otis. They did not come to see you, Otis. They came to see the voices.
They didn't come to see your ass. That's for a fact. Nobody came to see your ass either.
Johnny, you the one send me the message to come, fam.
I didn't know. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. You're always welcome.
You ain't never sent me no personal invitation, though, fam.
Fam, you the one who's dialing my phone number from Discord. What is wrong with you?
He dialed your number from Discord? Oh, yeah. You called somebody from Discord?
Yeah, he called me on Discord. The man called me from Discord.
Talk to a motherfucker.
Why are you calling me from Discord, nigga? What's wrong with you?
But I'm not gonna text you like you my woman. We gonna talk.
No, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. You sign up for a GOAT James Kingdom membership, $4.99 a month. Your disability pays for that. So go ahead and sign up for $4.99 per month, right? Your disability check for your.
Does that mean it come without the damn echo? Does it come without the fucking echo if I pay the $4.99?
What the
echo go away?
The reason you got an Echo is because you're using a Lenovo laptop. You need to upgrade to like an Apple laptop or something, bro. It's not my fault. You got a fucked up laptop. What the hell's wrong with you?
No,
this motherfucker. He was trying to FaceTime me left over. He called. This man called. Listen, I still got it on my phone. I was watching the basketball game, And I'm like, yo, and I see Am I Crazy calling you on Discord. I'm like, first of all, why is Discord let motherfuckers call me?
I took that app on my phone. That shit was happening to me. I just take that shit out. Hey, just look at
That
Johnny.
don't make no
when
sense.
I disappeared for a while? That's part of the reason why I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
But that's fine, because I'm the exposure. I'm the
bro.
one. I'm in the matrix, bro. Listen,
Nah,
y'all
I'm
do
good.
not want this smoke with me, man.
good.
And listen, Am I Crazy? You have been giving us content for days, bro. You are something serious, bro.
This the weird,
Y'all,
this the crazy guy, right?
this the Mr. X Files himself. This is Fox Mulder himself.
The toupee in the picture. The toupee on in the picture. I seen.
Look, he right now trying to call me on Discord. Look at him.
Hey, you got to get the King's Guardian membership to get FaceTime accessibility. So you got.
Why do you got Christmas tree lights on your sofa? This is yo. This dude is.
Hey, why your hat like that?
Cause she's coming over.
Somebody's coming over. Who's coming over?
You feel me? I gotta make my one, which is your mama, happy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You got the Diddy oil. You got the Diddy oil for her. You got the Diddy oil for her.
You got the Diddy. It's gonna be a 3P like Jordan.
You gonna have it? You got the Diddy oil for her, like LeBron.
You got the Dingus oil.
You got the Diddy oil? No.
No.
I gotta borrow the Diddy oil from fucking LeBumian. Flash the dick suck. Flash the don't know shit. Flash the whole run. Flash out of here. You don't know shit.
Well, look, Frank said I didn't let him speak, so now Frank, you're more than welcome. Go ahead, brother. Mike is yours. I'm not going to disturb you. I'm not going to disturb you. I'm not even going to let you get to me because, again, you're here to learn.
It's tripping. It's crazy.
Like I said, I debate my equals. All others I teach.
All right, I don't know why I got the whole panel again, but Green Hat, I don't even know him. And he's coming on here talking crazy. Like I'm like,
because you weak as shit, man. You don't gotta know me to know you're a punk. I don't know you to know you're a punk. I can see a bitch from a mile away, folks. I can see a bitch from a mile away. You might get ass like my fucking. Who knows, man?
Hey, okay.
Wait, Johnny, because I gotta go. I want Crazy to tell me. Look. Tell me 5 reasons.
I have to know you to know you.
Tell me, hey, Crazy. Tell me 5 reasons why LeBron had to go. Tell me 5 reasons why LeBron had to go, Crazy.
No,
hey, am I crazy? Put your sandwich down. Put your sandwich down.
He's proud of him, yo.
Put your sandwich down. Listen, Frank, you got church from Frank. This is great content at its best right here. This is how content creators earn money. We find people like Am I Crazy 38, and we let him get a mic.
Crazy.
He's super.
And dude,
why are you wearing a Yoshi shirt too? You got on a Yoshi shirt.
Who's the best for content, Willie or Am I Crazy right now?
Crazy for sure.
Nah, listen. I wanted to combinate.
He's crazy. He thinks crazy. I'll smack. Yo.
No, Johnny, you bogus, bro. Why you ain't clip that when he said Jordan was the best, bro? You supposed to clip that, bro.
Listen. I thought getting Wally and Willie together would be epic, but now I'm thinking we need to add Am I Crazy to that and make it a trio.
No fucking.
You gotta do that.
Oh, hey, leftover takes. You probably right. Bitches do love Yoshi, and he does got a chick on the way. So he got the Christmas lights working. He got the Yoshi shirt. What J's you got on? Which J's? Show us your J's. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Show us your J's. Show us your J's. Are they matching your outfit?
I got on my Desert Storms. They got my military dude. I got on my Desert Storms.
How you doing?
What you mean? You wearing combat boots?
You know what Desert Storms are?
You wearing combat boots?
Put them on the screen. Big dog.
I'm military dumbass, remember?
Wait, hold on. You showing combat boots? You got combat boots? Let me see them. No, put them up. There you go. Holy shit. This nigga. This man.
You got blood on this.
Hey, Crazy. Who is your goat?
I know that.
Hey, Crazy. Hold on. Who is your goat? Wait, why your fingers red, dog? Why your fingers red?
He gonna do it. He gonna do it. He gonna start something.
Oh man!
You want to see these? You want to see those? Oh wait, hold on.
Where the Jays? We want to see the Jays. You're supposed to be a Jordan fan. Where are the Jays?
What a Jordans fan? What a Jordans at, man?
This and he's hearing. This is how he hears me talking. Where are the J's, sir? Show us the J's. Show us the Michael Jordans.
What about these motherfuckers right here with all the shit on the bottom, bitch ass? I got shoes, ho. I got shoes, ho. What the fuck are you talking about? Where your bitch?
Stop doing crap, man.
Man, where you get them at?
Where you get them at? I need those.
You got them from the flea market?
Yo, listen. I was joking. I was joking. I was joking.
You got a condom on your head, bitch ass.
I was joking when I said this man had disability enough to pay $4.99 to become a GOAT James Kingdom member, but now I know for a fact this man has disability. So am I crazy? Please do us a favor. Go to the GOAT James Kingdom platform, right? Go on your laptop, right? And when you get the GOAT James Kingdom, they're gonna ask you to join the membership, and you're gonna click join. And you're going to put in your credit card information and you're going to go ahead and support us, right? It's only $4.99, brother. At $4.99, you'll become one of the Knights of GJK. And when you become a Knights of GJK, you'll have access to GOAT James Kingdom content, material. You'll get special show shout out, membership, all kind of stuff. You're going to get extra perks than what you automatically get now, brother. If you want to help us more, you can become a Castle Knights of GJK. We'll send you a GOAT James Kingdom t-shirt. I got green ones too. You can wear a green one. I got a green one. You can wear a green one.
Shit.
No,
which one you want me to use? There's a lot of these motherfuckers. Which credit card you want me to use, sir?
Whichever one that can accept $4.99 per month. That's all it costs to become a GOAT James Kingdom member. Now you go ahead and do that, brother. Like I said, bro, we got nothing but love and support for what you do. You help us with our content. Yeah, get your headphones on so you don't hear me echoing no more. All right, but do us a favor, brother. Listen, anybody who wants to become a member of the channel, as you can see, Ishmael's a member of the channel. We had other members show up like Hollywood Herm. Just go ahead and support what we do in GOAT James Kingdom. As you can see, we do our job. Go ahead, SB.
No, he needs because he want the FaceTime ability, so he got to become the King's Guard. He got to pay the high because he want to be able to FaceTime you and see your face at any time.
Okay,
so he
got to be a part of the King's Guard. Okay, so you heard that.
He want to FaceTime you because he want to FaceTime you type shit.
Yeah, and you can call me on Discord whenever you want if you get on King's. If you become the King's Guard membership, I tell you that much. Am I crazy? But look, we're gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna let Am I Crazy get the last word because he definitely got a lot to say. So let's start with you, Mingo Jester. What's your last word, brother? Thank you for joining us again, and I do appreciate you saying how the 2000s was great because that was the era where I actually was cognizant of basketball enough to know what I was watching. I couldn't say that for the 90s because I was a teenager. But go ahead and give us your last take, brother. Thank you for joining us. As you know, Mingo Jester is the Kobe aficionado. He is the #1 Kobe fan for me that comes on GOAT James Kingdom. Go ahead, brother.
Man, y'all crazy. I'm talking to this. What his name is? Am I crazy?
Am I crazy? 38. We call him 38 from here on out. That boy 38.
Y'all wow, man. I ain't really got much to say, but y'all wow, man.
Man, first off, shout out to SB, man. Y'all make sure to follow SB Talk Sports. He like he said, he does real takes over fake debates. He has a show every Friday, actually right before our show. He does it on 7 p.m. and he goes for about 2 hours where he talks about all kinds of sports. Football is his thing, so he always talks football, but he does talk basketball and he talks other sports. So make sure y'all check out again. It's SB Talk Sports. Y'all have fun with that channel. He does it well. Ishmael, any last words before we get up out of here, brother?
Yeah, I just want to say I don't know what these people are talking about. Basketball, the NBA is great in terms of its product. In terms of the players, if you like basketball and like competition, or you like to see guys be very competitive on the court, then today is really good. Like when I went to the game, man, I had a blast. That was some of the best. That was the most fun I had seeing a professional basketball game. I mean, LeBron's a beast, bro. I ain't never seen a player like that. Watching it in real time, in real life, is a different aspect. It's just a completely different feeling than watching it on TV. And so that's all I got to say, man. I enjoyed myself.
All right, thank you so much, Ishmael. As usual, you know how to reach me, brother. You need any help as a member, you can reach out to me on Discord. Just don't call me like 38 did.
All right.
Either way, man, have a good day, brother. Enjoy. Happy holidays, and we'll see you Sunday, brother. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, man. So let's get Am I Crazy in the building, man. Shout out to Am I Crazy. This guy here, I put the link for anybody who want to become a GOAT James Kingdom member. Shout out to Hollywood Herm, who's also enjoying himself. Hollywood Hearn, man, I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing like GOAT James Kingdom. I keep telling y'all, this is top content right here. We talk the game of basketball, and we troll, we have fun, we have all type of characters, all kind of takes happen. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about the 90s basketball and the brand of basketball that existed today. As we all know, today's NBA is the best NBA. I've always told y'all that. I don't have an issue stating it, and I'll keep it 100 with y'all. So let's let Am I Crazy up. So Am I Crazy, what you got to say, man, before we get up out of here, man? I'm about to get up out of here. Any last words, brother?
I literally just got here, so I don't know what y'all really talking about. But at the end of the day, what I want to talk about is, you talking about, I heard him say something about the league being good. I tried to look at 3-4 different games yesterday, all on those bums. So he's lying. They're shooting 40 and 53s, ain't nobody in the post. Like, get the fuck out of here. This is the worst league I've ever seen. The worst. Everybody skinny as hell. Everybody doing bands. Shit, ain't nobody in the weight room. Like, motherfuckers don't even know how to fucking run a play in the reverse. Like, they don't know shit. They do nothing. The referee can probably play better than these motherfuckers. But they're going to try to tell you that Jokic is good. It's only 2 fucking centers in the whole damn league. And if you put Jokic like Shaq, he look like Muggsy Bogues. Period, nigga. Because he'd be on this period going against a nigga like Shaq. Everything. Bleed like a motherfucker. Bleed him everywhere.
Let me ask you a question. All right, am I crazy? You said how many basketball games you watched yesterday? Was that today you watched them or yesterday?
I think it was last night or so. It was either today or yesterday. I can't even remember, fam. But it was like 4 or 5 games, and I'm like, what the hell was going on? Like, all of them was weak. All of them was weak.
You sure?
Even my Bulls played. I couldn't even watch my own Bulls.
You couldn't watch the Bulls play?
That's where I'm from. So if I ain't got shit else to watch, I'll at least watch the Bulls. I couldn't even watch that. Like, oh my God. All the games was crazy, man. I think the best game yesterday was like Houston versus New Orleans or something. And then what's the name didn't even play. So you don't even know when the Stars are going to play, so I want half my damn money back if I was a season ticket holder.
All right, let me ask you a question. Is this the basketball you want to go back to right here? Let me show you this. Because this is what we were doing. We were
anything what we doing right now. Anything what we doing right now.
No, because we were going back to the greatest era. So what's the greatest era of basketball for you?
The greatest era of basketball is the 80s/90s, fam. And then you can throw some of the 2000s in there too. Some of the 2000s.
All right, so let's go back to the height of the NBA in 1994.
What's this echo, folks? What's up with this echo, G?
Here we go. This is the basketball you want us to go back to?
And the Rockets control. Robert Horry picked up on a switch by John Starks. Otis Thorpe being played here by Patrick Ewing. Goes to the running hook. Rebounded by Charles Smith. And here comes John Starks. Charles Smith. Derek Harper. Starks. Ewing. Rebounded by Thorpe. Maxwell with Starks back on the pull-up. And the Knicks back to the offense. Just underway. Opening minutes. Game 1 of the best of 7 between the New York.
Next to each other and shit. Hell yeah. They finally playing something good. Keep it going, fam.
This is them playing in Game 7, 1994 final.
Picked off by Cassell.
And it all started with the good pressure of Cassell, and he also read the play and forced Harper into an uncomfortable position and a bad turnover.
Starks playing with 4 fouls. Elijah Wan over Mason. And foul. So Akeem will go to the line.
What the hell happened to him?
Hell yeah, keep playing that, man. That little half a game was better than everything I seen the other day, man. Everybody at the 3-point line, all of them huddled together in Diddy oil and shit. Chilling and shit.
Cassell has had another strong game here. He has 11 points. And the Rockets have matched their biggest lead of the night. They're up by 7. A minute 20 gone by on the 4th. Cassell all over Harper. Ewing played by Elijah Wan. Off the fake, Patrick Ewing has turned it around in the second half. He now has 16 points in all. Rockets 69. And the Knicks 64. They double up on Cassell. Herrera now picked up by Ewing. And Herrera stripped, lost it. It'll be Nick Ball.
Well, Patrick Ewing starting to feel it right now. Sees that no double team is coming. Little hesitation dribble. The long step and the pump fake to get away and clear himself from the tough defense of Olajuwon.
They don't play defense, bitch. I just scored. They don't play fucking defense. Hell yeah. They don't play fucking defense at all today. Hell yeah. Keep the shit rolling, fam. He scored and he played defense. Hell yeah. Put that shit back on. What you doing, fam? Put that shit back on.
In the fourth and had a shot to win it all in the final seconds. Rockets by 6. 8:35 remaining in the fourth. Cassell. Yes. Sam Cassell with 13 points. Rockets lead 74-66. Greg Anthony back on the floor. Takes the three. Rebounded by Mason. Starks for 3. Looked like Horry got a piece of it. And it will be Nick Ball.
Well, Sam Cassell has been brilliant in this fourth quarter at the defensive end, and he got him started off early in the fourth with scoring, and here he just took the ball down to the baseline and shot over the smaller Greg Anthony.
Anthony and Starks now on the backcourt. Here's Starks again. So he continues to fire away. 1 for 10 for John Starks.
Get it? Hell yeah. What happened to the game, bro?
Listen, bro.
What happened to the game?
Listen, listen. Your membership has expired. You got to become a member of GOAT James Kingdom. So what you got to go do is you got to become a member of the channel, and I'll send you the whole game. I'll send you everything, brother. You'll be able to watch all these games and all these highlights.
Okay, so I won't be. So y'all watching LaDick slash LaDiddy all slash LaBummian slash
No. Listen, you become a member of GOAT James Kingdom. I'll send you the link and all these type of clips.
I'm a member that says GOAT James. That don't even fucking make sense. That's
because you want to watch basketball.
GOAT James is a fucking oxymoron, motherfucker.
Where are you gonna watch this kind of basketball?
How you gonna have LaBummian and GOAT in the same goddamn thing? Get the fuck out of here.
But let me ask you a question.
Michael Jordan GOAT debate shit, then hell yeah. Because he's the best. And the other than the LeBron nigga y'all got ain't shit. Period. Because he always period, nigga. He always whining in the crowd. Oh my God. And then he a liar. He a liar. He told his son he wasn't going to the G League. Soon he said history, 2 weeks later, kicked his goofy ass to the G League. Hey, you ain't gotta play away game. You ain't gotta play away game. So now he playing a good. Now he playing away game. What the hell? That nigga won't be honest with his whole fucking son. He's a bitch. He's a man. He's a goofy. Period, nigga. Any questions?
Yeah. Listen. Hold wait.
We need a LaBalco re-up, and he couldn't get in 2011. That's why he was dog shit.
The other way, let me ask you this question. If you become a member of GOAT James Kingdom and I send you this link, you'll be cool with that as a member? I'll send you all the links to all the basketball games that you want to watch from the 90s? Huh? You want to or not?
I don't even know what a snake is, fam. It sound like you on some LaDiddy or shit. I ain't trying to see your snake, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? Are you no dude, man? You listen, man. Don't even play me like that, pal. I don't play with niggas like that, Jay. I'm from Chicago, G. We don't play like that, pal.
Oh my God! Let's go back and show him. Let's go back and show him.
Sam Cassell looking ass out of here. You mix with Sam Cassell and Tyrone Hill. You look ugly as hell, boy.
Talking about.
Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest.
Since you talking about Sam Cassell, here's go Sam Cassell for you right here. Look, hand checking.
And he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
Foul on Cassell.
Rockets foul number 10, Sam Cassell. His first.
Sam Cassell. Ball for his first team foul on the Rockets.
You can see both hands on the dribbler now just grabbing the arm. And this Sam sitting on the bench has to recognize and see what happened early in the ballgame when one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment, but he is a rookie.
Olajuwon with the rejection. Ewing lost it off his foot. Kelly
touch by Herrera. Well, I was making the point earlier that Patrick Ewing was looking to pass the ball quite a bit. Right now, he doesn't look sure at what he wants to do. Here, he took the shot with Elijah draped all over him.
38, man. Listen, man. Catch us this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, y'all. You can catch us this Sunday, Am I Crazy? We can have a conversation on that. Come catch us Sunday afternoon where Brandon and I go live every Sunday noon where we do the Lord's work. Like I told you, the basketball gods are in our favor. We are the best at what we do. This is the best place to talk the game of basketball if you're a basketball fan. And yes, a basketball fan, an NBA fan. There's nothing about the NBA that you cannot appreciate unless you're a casual or unless you're a Zesty Jeffrey, because we know you guys never watch the game of basketball at all as a Zesty Jeffrey. We know this. You guys were never watching the games. You don't watch it today. You didn't watch it then. Because if you would have watched it, you would have seen all the stuff that I provided you today about the NBA game. So at the end of the day, you show up on a Sunday afternoon, you will definitely be exposed by what we do on a Sunday afternoon. We go live every Sunday noon Eastern time right here on the GOAT James Kingdom platform. But tonight's show was the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer, where I go live every Friday night and I go ahead and expose people for not knowing how to talk the game of basketball. That's all I do because, again, I'm the Exposer. There is no one like me. I am him. I'm the one. I have officially destroyed the Matrix. Zesty Jeffries don't like it because I have destroyed the Matrix. But they can't do nothing about what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom because, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I do for free. I do this for fun. This is what I do. All I do is throw L's at everybody because they can't talk the game of basketball. And they're never going to be able to be like me because they don't take their time to do the research and to take their time to actually watch the game. And then they're not trying to find anything great about the game. You know why I can find greatness about the game? Because I care about the game of basketball. And if you're a basketball fan, you'll become a member of the GOAT James Kingdom platform. You'll also become a subscriber of our channel. You'll hit that like button. You'll hit that notification ring bell to let you know that when we're going live and what we're doing every day. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for joining me again for another great Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Happy holidays. We'll see y'all Sunday. Peace and blessings. If you're a basketball fan and you're tired of basketball shows that talk about fake narratives and using non-basketball terms like killer instinct, playoff translation, gravity, come to GOAT James Kingdom.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom, where basketball lives forever. You get to enjoy VV and A Johnny talk basketball every Sunday noon Eastern time right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel. Support by subscribing and also check out the membership at GOAT James Kingdom.
You have now been exposed by the Exposer.